All right. Hi, baseball fans. We've been doing a ton of Action PC baseball on the channel, and rightly so. It's such a brilliant game. Um, what it can do, the reports it can generate, and things like that. But I wanted to, while I'm waiting for the Howie Shanks Baseball League, Bingo League to finalize and try to coordinate with two other channels that are also going to be doing games in that league, I thought I wanted to do some stuff with out of the park baseball. Um, and I also already have a tournament also going at Action PC, so I didn't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is what it says in the tin here is I'm going to call it a sometimes season replay. Um, and I really thought, yeah, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And it seems like the 1929 Philadelphia Athletics has been they've been a real popular team, a great team. And they were kind of an acid test in our old Ned McGreevy league, as that was our Ned McGreevy All Stars faced the Philadelphia A's and lost in extra innings to them. Um, but I thought maybe also it would be kind of fun to go into a deeper dive behind the scenes of what Out of the Park Baseball 24 offers, and I think the reason being is not because of the people who um, play Action PC so much. I think a lot of the people that play that game also play this game. I mean, I just need to point you to our Red Sox fan, for instance, who plays both, and a ton of other baseball sims. Of course, myself, I've featured Out of the Park Baseball a lot on my channel ever since I've started streaming back in 2017. I think it was maybe early 2018, whatever it was. I know a few other of us, there's a few of us that like the Cubs, the Bears, and D. Scott Howard that are really big time out of the park baseball fans. For me, it's out of the park baseball, Action PC baseball for Windows and Diamond Mind. Diamond Mind I don't feature on this channel too much because people don't like the lack of sound or anything like that. But I thought, what can this thing do? How deep can you go with out of the park baseball? Well, surprisingly, very deep. Um, very deep. I would even say, in some ways, as deep as Action PC baseball. So let's mess around for a little bit and look at it. First, we're going to go to MLB and we're going to go to the league home. So this is giving us standings and everything like that. At the beginning of the season, of course, nothing. Right? No wins, no losses, anything. I haven't started this. I just installed it, everything like that. But what really happens here, right? We can look at this is going to give you the top prospects. So we're just scratching the surface. We're going to get deeper down the rabbit hole here. So right now we're looking at just the American League. So we're looking at Dale Alexander. These are like the top 10. So BNN, this is looking at the top 10 prospects. And we can see there's Lynn Larry of the Yankees and Bobo Newsom of the Brooklyn Robins. And one of the nice things about out of the park baseball is pretty much anything you mouse over is clickable. Hey, there's Tim. How you doing, Clee Baseball Fan 879? Doing 2007 Stratomatic Cards and Dice replay. 2007 Cleveland, well at that time Cleveland Indians. So welcome in. So definitely, Tim always doing a lot. Feel free, Tim, to go ahead because people may be watching this, later. Might be checking it out, and they might want to look and see what you're up to. So I'm picking up a few new subscribers here and there, and love to support. We got to support each other in this crazy, goofy community that we have here. All right. So Tim says, got my feet up relaxing, got the drain taken out of your ankle after. Oh, that's right, you had surgery. Did you start back to work? I know you were talking about starting back to work. So hopefully you're doing well. We wish you a speedy recovery. Thoughts also go out to Ken Castro, who's recovering from some serious surgery. So when the Howie Shanks Bingo League starts, Clinton Parks is going to be the interim manager until Ken is back with us. So I think for baseball fans, what's a lot of fun, we go to Baseball Reference. We love Baseball Reference and StatHead. And by the way, Out of the Park Baseball right now is offering, in conjunction with StatHead, a discount if you want a StatHead membership, and I think that is really good. Tim says, yes, finally got computer issues worked out today and got 3.5 hours. All right, well, take it easy, man. Don't force it. Don't force it. You give yourself time to heal, and that means doing lots of baseball, watching lots of baseball, and just taking it easy. Kick up, have a beverage, alcoholic or otherwise, doesn't matter, and just take it slow. Down here, of course, you have leaderboards. So this is reminiscent of what you would see in Action PC baseball. So the comparisons are still pretty strong here, and I think you're going to find Action PC players that they are pretty much that way all the way through. And I think for those of you who may not realize how deep of a baseball simulation this one is, it's brilliant. Of course, we can combine leaderboards here and what have you. But what I wanted to show you, I started talking about, of course, we can look at National League teams, which then look at anybody. Leaving us an American League because this is going to be an American League sometimes replay. We're going to go to MLB, and we're going to go to league history. And this is really, really, really cool. I really like this. So if you're looking for something, and you're doing Baseball Reference, let's say, and you're a seasoned replayer, which I've said in the past I'm normally not. All right, so, yep, so Tim says he sits at a computer all day, so nothing too strenuous. Good to hear that. But you want to look for something, you want to be a little bit more focused within the time that you're working in, right? But you want to kind of look at perhaps, what was going on around that time. And basically what you get in this history section for MLB when you go to history, it's going to give you the history of baseball up to, right? I mean, so you can see here 1929 at the bottom. That's the season that's going to be replayed, but it'll take us up to 1928. So from 1871 to 1928. And we can see, of course, here no champions because there was no real championship yet. I mean, there was the Temple Cup. This started in 1894, but we're really concerned now with 20th century. So, I mean, we can already see there's the Boston Americans, Pittsburgh Pirates, right? So, and we can look at the Boston Red Sox. We can just click on the Red Sox, Americans, right, whatever. And again, look at their entire history from 1882, in this case, up to what they did in 1929. We can see their attendance figures if you're interested in that. Champions, were they playoffs? Well, indeed, we see in 1903 they were world champs. In 1903, 1912, 15, 16, 17, and 18, and then of course there's going to be that big gap until they finally win it again in the 21st century. And I think this is really, really nice. We can look at any one of these years if we want to. We can look at let's look at the 1918 Red Sox. There they are. So it's so easy, and this is something you cannot do in Action PC Baseball. That you can do, and I really, really love this. So I've just picked, even though I'm in 1929 and I'm going to do a 1929 Philadelphia Athletics replay, I can jump here and look at this 1918 Boston Red Sox team. There's Babe Ruth. There's Carl Mays, right? And I can click on Babe Ruth, and then I can look at Babe Ruth here going, what have you, like back to 1925. So in this screen, this is going to take the previous 4 seasons, which is really nice. Get a better sense of how the players you're going to be managing, how did they do leading up to the season in the past 4 years. And you can think about that as kind of Steve Tate's sort of 5-year franchise file. So I like that. Again, navigation much nicer this year. But let's go back again. One more. So we know we can do that, but what else can we do? So we go to champions, We can look here that it was in 1928, right? We know the Yankees won the World Series, sweeping um, sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals just as they did the Pirates um, 2 years or a year prior to that. Click on that 27 Yankees team, and we actually get to the home screen for this year. So we have that. But let's go back here and let's look at milestones. This is super, super cool. And we can see, again, this is a great way to get deeper into it's kind of a little bit of baseball history here. So we can look at this, that Eddie Collins, right, will hit a milestone at age 41, will hit the 3,500 hit milestone. Rogers Hornsby, 2,500 hits, right? So all this kind of cool stuff here that you cannot do. You can do this. You can't see anything like this quite like Action PC without getting into really depth. There's Todd B. Welcome in, buddy. Todd, I still have no idea when the Howie Shanks League is going to start. It's really in Big Clue and Steve Tate's hands. I've been asking forever in Discord, and it's sort of like, yeah, I guess I don't exist, so I don't know what's going on at this point. So hopefully we'll get that going. I hope soon. I hope soon. But what were people doing? I think this is a really invaluable tool, especially if you're doing a league replay. So to get a sense of what people were doing, home runs. Okay, Cy Williams hit 200, right? So who will hit 250 home runs or reach the 250 home run career, right? And so current coming into the season, he's at 246. He needs four. Rogers Hornsby, right? He's at 238. Ken Williams, great slugger from, of course, now we see him with the with the Boston Red Sox, but formerly of the St. Louis Browns, the early 20s. Milestones and runs batted in. So we see that Babe Ruth, by this time, is to reach 1,500 runs batted in. He needs 89 runs batted in. So, yep, no worries, Todd. And there's Clinton Parks coming in. Clinton says he's listening, still setting up for Digital Diamond Baseball. I'm glad to see Digital Diamond getting lots of love. Lots of love. Milestones and stolen bases. Again, this gives you, I think, a more focused sense. Yeah, you can go into Baseball Reference and dig through all this stuff, but you kind of have this right here, which I think is really nice. So again, just mousing over Eddie Collins, we can see what he did 1926, 1927, 1928 really nicely. We can see that he needs 6 stolen bases to reach 750 steals. Max Carey, late of the Pittsburgh Pirates, now with the Brooklyn Robins. I think this is real nice. You can do the same with pitchers. Okay, their milestone with wins. So we see Herb Pennock, Lee Meadows, Jack Quinn, who we'll be seeing throughout this sometime replay. Most of this replay is going to be done offline, but occasionally, since I don't have anything really, any big projects, unlike Robbie Wartburg, who has a ton of projects, I try to keep them at a minimum. I think this is really nice. Hall of Fame, this, of course, nothing yet because of where we are. But here we go. Look at this. Now we have season and career records. And again, basically, you have a baseball encyclopedia here. You really do. Also, open in browser. Any of these things will instantly generate a web page, and a pretty nice looking one. There you go. And once you start playing and set this up, these are all clickable. We can do these right in a game, but let's say that you were maybe sharing some league results or what have you from a league that you might be doing in out of the park baseball. This is a really kind of sexy way to share it. So this will be the records in baseball, and we'll go ahead and close this browser. But this is as of right. Opening day is going to be April 15th, Monday, and this uses actual lineups, actual transactions, actual schedules. So if you're into doing as played in out of the park baseball, it does that. But that's not what we're here really to talk about. But we can see here, for instance, let's look at home runs. There's Babe Ruth. So there's that record, 1960. That's a season. And at this point, right, he's at 470. So you think about it, it's like, wow, I didn't know that's what Babe Ruth's number was coming in to opening day of 1929. He's at 470 home runs. You think about that, Lou Gehrig hit 493 lifetime. And Lou Gehrig, in fact, at this point, he's not even rating yet in home runs. So what else here? I think this is just really brilliant that you have this, and I think this is something that gets really overlooked in out of the park baseball is its depth. It's really really crazy deep, and I'll show you. So we're going deeper down the rabbit hole, and yeah, I can hopefully do that tonight. Um, it actually is having a baseball encyclopedia installed, and I think more so even than an Action PC baseball. And again, I love them both. I love them. I love. Again now with this release of Out of Park 24. Now the love is equal. Action PC kind of eclipsed this by maybe a percentage point or two, but now they complement one another so beautifully. Um, but so getting back to this again, right? So we see here, there's Ty Cobb's batting average. We see that Levi Meyerly held was holding the all-time, and I'm guessing this is still a record of 492. We got to remember it was 1871. Okay, so it's showing seasons, and then over here career up by this time, and I think it gives you a very very strong sense. And to my knowledge, this is not something you can do in Action PC baseball, and that's not knocking it at all. So, what else do we have? So we're looking at career things. Let's look at here. We love um, Pete Alexander and Walter Johnson. There's Walter Johnson. There's those 110 shutouts. Walter Johnson's already retired by this time, and there they are. And I believe that's a record that still stands, by the way, 110 shutouts. Um, and I love it. There's Rube Waddell, right, with this crazy what is it, strikeouts per 9 innings. In 1903, 8.39. So you're getting a sense of baseball, but notice you're only getting baseball up until opening day of 1929. So you're getting a sense of who came before. But let's go deeper. We can go to players. Now, this is just going to be players, again, up to that point. So, Todd, I like your analogy of a baseball encyclopedia because what you have is a baseball encyclopedia, but a baseball encyclopedia that was put out, let's say, right before the start of the season. So it was put out in the winter of 1928. So any of these players, so you're not going to get, I mean, Aaron Judge is not going to be in here. If we go through the Jays, there is no Aaron Judge. He's just not in here because he didn't play that yet, right? And I like this because, right, you're getting just from to. We can click on a. So let's look at Sam Jackson, 1871 to 1872. Now I don't have this season installed for this Sam Jackson, but I can click on Sam Jackson and there he is. I can bring up his record. The only way you can do this in Action PC Baseball is either if you're using the baseball history collection or if you have every season installed, you could go around and look at players. But there's a limit to the number of teams you can actually do. So if I was doing a 2022 replay, let's say, which you'll never see me do, um, you would have a complete actual baseball encyclopedia. So you really do have that. And again, so much that's clickable, doable, whatever. We see this guy was a Brit, Sam Jackson. Never knew about him. he played for 1 year in the majors. So I can look at these guys. I can look at his batting stats all the way across, what have you. Up here, of course, this all acts as a nice little. Let's look at a couple other names here. Um, doesn't really matter what we do. There's a player deck. There's a career batting register here. Okay. What's nice is I can sort by name, first name, right? I can do service years, games. So if I do games, now we see here's Fielder Jones, right? The most games, again, up to 1929, right? There's Shoeless Joe. And of course, Shoeless Joe is out of baseball by 1929, but bam, I can click on him. There he is. So imagine this, and this gets into what Todd likes to do. Um, is that I'm not sure. I need some comic relief on occasion. Um, yeah, love comic relief. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. And I like this, and I really think this gets overlooked. A lot of the YouTube videos that I see about out of the park baseball from content creators, really the guys outside, they're really concentrating outside our little community that we have here. Is I think that they're really concentrating on the financials and simming out entire seasons, not playing them, but not getting into this deep stuff to the history of baseball, which I really really love. Maybe we just want to look at just players whose last name begin with the letter C. And we want to find out, well, okay, averages and such like that. Or let's look at home runs. There we go. So we have up to 1929. There's Roger Connor. And Roger Connor, of course, we know about Roger Connor. Um, most career home runs in baseball until lifetime, until Babe Ruth. You can look at his WAR and there, right, search by anything that you want. Just boom. Who had the most doubles? Ty Cobb. Triples, Sam Crawford. Home runs, Roger Crawford. Steals, Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb's out of baseball by 1929. In fact, he finishes with the Philadelphia Athletics the previous year, and the Athletics did very well. Who's the big strikeout guy? Well, it looks like it was Monty Cross. Max Carey, Ty Cobb. Good stuff. Let's go back to the League History Index. I can pick any one of these years. Let's say I want to look at 1909 National League. So there it is. You have Baseball Reference right here. It's here. It is exactly here, and it is sweet. The game does have a career mode. Yes, it does. Um, Out of the Park Baseball has a career mode and single season replay. So absolutely, it absolutely does have that. Now, would I say, oh, use this in lieu of Baseball Reference? Well, no, unless you're going to play a game. But I think it's nice to have this. Um, and again, even though I think the beauty of this is, again, I don't have this particular season installed, 1909. But I can look at the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, and there they all are. So perhaps let's look at Sam Frock. I don't know Sam Frock. Don't know him at all, right? Go to the editor. The editor is really, really important, and I'm going to sort of segue. Yes, transactions. So at the beginning, I don't know, maybe you didn't catch this. You can set this up to have real life transactions. This 1929 sometimes replay is set up that will have real life transactions as they go through the season. They will just be done. I don't have to worry about it. You don't have to touch finances in this game at all. So Todd was talking about importing players. So this is one of the things that's a little harder than than in Action PC Baseball. So this requires a baseball reference ID. And what's really nice is you get it right here. And what that always is the player's last name, the first two letters of his first name, right? And then his debut. And then you can just go from there. And if I get time, I have a lot to talk about. Maybe there'll be a part two that I'll do just on importing players because I know what Todd's thinking about. Is Todd had said from the very beginning that he was really hoping that we could do the Howie Shanks Bingo League in Out of the Park Baseball, and I thought that would be beautiful. Um, the hard work has been done because we did the draft in Action PC. So now that we have those names, all we have to do, Todd, is create a big text file with everybody and import that text file onto Teams. It'll be that simple to do. I don't think it's going to be as much work as I thought it would be. We'll get back to this. And again, this has a full player editor, just like Action PC Baseball. So if Steve Tate really wanted to, he actually could do his 5-year franchise stuff in here as well, which I think the Out of the Park community would jump all over it and give him a little free love and say, hey, I'm also doing this in Action PC Baseball. Why not own both? We can look at his history. Of course, all his real life stats and what have you. And that 01 wasn't his debut year. I'm sorry, that's like his name occurrence. So that was the first occurrence of Sam Frog, probably the only one. All right, let's go back and back and back and back, just like Chris Berman. And let's go back one more time. Let's get a little bit more granular. We can just look at teams. All right. And again, you just might want to focus on teams how they did up to 1929. So we're doing the Philadelphia Athletics. Let's click 1929. And we can see the history of this particular Philadelphia team. So not the Philadelphia Phillies, but there they are, the A's. Can look at that, pick any one of their seasons. But maybe I just want to look at 1928 because I'm doing 1929. So let's look, what did they do in 1928? There it is. Pretty cool stuff. Who led in home runs? Huh. Well, how about that? So this is great. You imagine Jimmy Fox with just 13 home runs. That's going to change, obviously. Bucketfoot Al Simmons, 107 runs batted in. Get a sense. There's Ty Cobb. We said this was Ty Cobb. And this was his final year in baseball. So he played his last 2 years with Connie Mack's White Elephants. There he is. And the retirement year, of course, this is having to do with now the league that you're doing, but you see his actual retirement year. So Todd's right. This is really having a baseball encyclopedia right there. We could look at just Cobb's, just his batting stats, OPS plus, OPS slugging. Pull out, just highlight whatever. This is really it's great. We can't do any game log because he's not going to be here. He is not going to be here. But we can look at last year. We can go to actions. We can compare him to another player. We can shortlist a bunch of players and we can compare them against one another. We can look at Ty Cobb. If we were playing an actual game and already started the season, we could look at his spray chart and see where hits were going and stuff like that. There's of course, his gray, his black ink, and it gives you the help file. What does that mean? Yeah, scores derived from the number of times the players led the league in certain stats. So for Harold Baines, this black ink would have a number 1 because he only led the league in one thing. And again, this editor, really important. But let's go back and let's dig a little bit more deeply into this game that gets dissed a lot, and I don't understand why. I really, really don't get it. What else can we look at here? Let's look at maybe leaderboards. We did look at that. Let's look at awards. So some of these things probably not going to be. Oh, there we go. So most valuable player award. Again, these things, right, extrapolated backwards, but there we go. So in the National League, right, there's Wildfire Schulte, Larry Doyle, Jake Dalbert, Johnny Evers, Dazzy Vance. I think this is also really nice for people that don't like to read books, and this is directed at one person in our community who is not here. That if you're not going to pick up a book or use your Saber membership, fire up your copy of Out of the Park Baseball 24, and here it is. There we can see everybody who managed, which is really nice, and even yourself. There I am, 1 year of managing. But there's Connie Mack. So Connie Mack is in his 31st year of managing, right up to 1928. Wins, losses. So again, you can find this on Baseball Reference, but this is really cool. Leaders, all-time leaders, up to again opening day of 1929. You're not going to see, you're not going to see Danny Merton here. You're not going to see Sparky Anderson unless you're up to that. Because when you're setting up a replay, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to import the entire history of baseball up to that point. You can't do that because Action PC Baseball doesn't sort of concentrate on. It's really, I think, stronger as season replays. And I think Big Clue has talked about that. Big Clue, in fact, comes in. Welcome in, my friend, and World's Worst Gamer. People don't want to read a book, or like people don't want to get a driver's license. Don't complain when other people take you for a ride. Exactly. What else can we look at here? Again, we've looked at milestones, and I think this is really, really nice. And just kind of want to get into it. Now let's get into the team home screen. Things you can do in here. As the season goes on, you'll be able to see, of course, what everybody's doing. Now we're, again, looking back at, oh, wait, there's something I want to do. I'm sorry. I want to go back to league history, and I think this is what I want, because I want to show, oh God, where is it? How you can look at players from the league, and I think we're going to go to league home. Is it stats? Reports and info. There we go. So we can look at power rankings, stuff like that. So we can look at power rankings when the season starts, but also what you're able to do in there's the league newspaper, by the way. And this will keep building and building and building and building. You can also look at all the players in the entire league. Look at their ratings, sort by ratings, things like that. So let's do that. Let's mess around with that for a little bit. And is it league history? Just messing around with this stuff here. Just showing the depth of this. Of course, you can. We can list all major league players. There they are. I can sort overall by potential, so we can see the usual suspects here. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, George Grantham, Hornsby. There's Chuck Klein, all the way down to Hack Wilson. These guys are all 5-star potentials. Then we move down to Kyler Hafey. Next here, whatever. Really, really, really nice. But we can also do. We can look at batting ratings, and now it's going to do that. Now, let's say that you're going into your 1929 or 1975, or if you're Aaron Reed, 1990, and you want to say, okay, who's the best contact hitter in the league? Bam, there we go. So we see we got Babe Herman, Rogers Hornsby, Lefty O'Doul, Bill Terry, Earl Combs, and so this is going to search power in the gap. Just overall power. It's Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. Really nice. Who had a good eye? Max Bishop, Lou Blue, Rick Farrell, George Grantham, who is best at avoiding strikeouts. and on and on. Contact versus lefties, power versus lefties. And of course, here's Babe Ruth showing that platooning can be a bit of shite. Um, but it's Babe Ruth too. And power. Who's your best sacrifice bunter? Well, Joe Hassler. Trying to look for some names here now. I don't know that name. Um, who could bunt for a hit? Luke Sewell. Um, speed and stealing, two different things in this. So Kyler, no surprise there. Adam Komorowski, know that name very well. Great way to get to know, and this is every player here. So this is set for all batters. Maybe I want to look at how pitchers did as batters because why not? Maybe I just want to look at first baseman in the league. Good, I could do that. Um, best potential there again: Fox, Gehrig, Grantham. Who did? Or this is for first base. But Grantham could also play first, but he's still rated here at second. But you can see all these guys here mainly first, and if we'd look, we would see that they're rated at different positions. So this is very much really cool. We can do a search, just finding players, things like that. But I just thought that this little bit of a deeper dive into what Action PC Baseball does with history might, yeah, it is a great draft tool. It's absolutely brilliant. And this is not a knock. Again, I love Action PC Baseball just as much. It's just that this I think is more of a kind of like incorporating, giving you a sense of history in baseball, whereas games like Baseball for Windows and Action PC are going to be more laser focused on that season replay that you're going to do, unless you've created a draft league. Um, but imagine if you were just if you were researching a league and using Action PC Baseball and its deep reports, and this one and its deep reports, you would have such amazing insight. Plus, using other things like books, like Saber, if you really wanted to get serious, super deep into a replay, and using baseball for reference, and StatHead and SeamHeads and that. It's really an embarrassment of riches that we have. There's MV. So that being said, let's go to our home screen for the Philadelphia Athletics. And, we can look at our organization all the way here, pitching. There's our lineups, which I'm going to just leave as is, and they look pretty damn good to me. You can set strategies in this, of course, and you can go down to the player level in this just as you can in Action PC and Diamond Mine and Pure Sim. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can. You can do strategy presets if you want, right? You can also import strategy from a file. Maybe you want to be a tactician. So this is a quick way to do it. If this was maybe I'd want to do it small ball, whatever. If we were playing dead ball, this is not. So traditional, we're going to just leave that as it is. So again, a lot of depth that's going into this, which I really, really like. Okay. Ask Dan Young for strategy there. Dan Young says this is what we should do. So using a bit of AI. Going to player strategy, and I can work down to the player level with each of these guys, which we thought was really cool. In the other games, you can do it here too. And I can reset all this if I want, by the way, which I don't think I'm going to. I think we're just going to leave it go. So, I mean, because there wasn't a lot of speed on the A's, things like that, but I like it. I think we'll go with it. We can also, let's go back to organization, pitching lineups, nice graphical depth chart. What's nice about this, Tubby says, Out of the Park gets this misconception that it's only a game that involves setting up an organization, acting as GM. I know, right? And it drives me absolutely bonkers that people think that's all it's for. It also drives me bonkers to think people think it's not accurate. it has there is actually a menu choice where if you just run this, it will show you how accurate it is compared to the actual year you're replaying. Obviously, if you're doing mixed tournaments and stuff like that, you have to throw that out the window. But yeah, this is a hell of it's a hell of an accurate baseball engine. It really is. But yeah, it's you can play if you want to just play this as a GM sim, which I see a lot of other YouTubers playing this as just a GM sim, but yet I see the Cubs of Bears. He plays it as a field manager. I'm pretty sure D. Scott Howard, who I saw earlier in Anthony's broadcast, he plays these games. What I love about this graphical depth chart here is that I can move guys around, maybe to give them playing time. Or so let's say we have Jimmy Fox. So all right, so Joe Hassler is going to play in there for Jimmy Fox if tired. But if I wanted to give Hassler a little bit more time or none, I could do never. Of course, MV would like this with Cy Young, never, because he's not happy with Cy Young. But maybe I want to play him every seventh game. Boom! If I hit that, Hassler is going to be put into the lineup every seventh game. Real nice. So this is the depth charts versus righties versus lefties. Again, really, really nice. And I love the fact that Action PC Baseball does this. Now you also see there's Eddie Collins. Well, by this time Eddie Collins he's near the end of his career. This is it. So he's going to be, Eddie Collins is not going to get a lot of playing time. He's going to get playing time if Joe Cronin. I mean, Max Bishop would almost have to be out of it. Collins probably going to be used as a pinch hitter, and you can get into really, really deep strategy on this. And again, everything's sortable here. Um, so we're looking at right their eye, their contact, whatever. Maybe with daily lineups, what do I want to do here? I can chop and change all kinds of stuff here. Um, so right here, so utility if starter tired or again you can set this stuff here. If the starter's tired, Eddie Collins is going to come in. But maybe I want to do an alternate replay and get super granular. Well, I can go ahead and just say, well, I want Eddie Collins to play every third game, and he will. You can do custom lineups, by the way, um, and you can save custom lineups just like you can in Action PC. In fact, I think this gives you, more slots. Now, you can also go in here if you just don't feel like doing this. You can ask your bench coaches, which is just, right, the AI, to do all the lineups for depth charts for everything like that. So you can get super, super deep, um, as deep as you want into this game. And I think that it has an unfair reputation. And I think I have to agree with Todd B that people either say it's a great GM sim or, yeah, they're just trying to just, do some pretty good graphics, but it's not a very good baseball engine. And there is one prominent broadcaster here that, not in this room, but really kind of smacks on out of the park baseball and has asserted that it's only good for using fictional players. And I respect the person's knowledge, but I don't really know where he's. I've done so many people. I mean, it's not just me. Major League Baseball has used this to predict playoffs, everything like that, and it's pretty uncanny. It's pretty good stuff. Anything else that we need to do? Front office. I never mess with this. This is all the you know all the financial crap. I don't care. So there's all your people if you want to. I just don't. And of course, there's a schedule, and we'll be starting against the Washington Senators and the Yankees. And this is weird. This is an as-played schedule. So they played the Yankees in the middle. I don't know whether there was something that had to be made up or whatever. But they went Boston, Yankees, Boston, and yeah. So let's go back to April. And then info, nothing yet. All this starts to fill in, and all this here will start to fill in as we play. There's the ballpark. There's the ballpark stats for this year. We can edit the ballpark from here. Of course, if we want to, there's a number of ways. And we can look at the 3D model, but this is the PRK file. This can be, you can edit everything in here that you want if you don't like these. So again, if you wanted to normalize, you could actually go and do all kinds of stuff. There's the pictures and coordinates for everything. And ball locations. This is crazy. This is the stuff you don't see behind the scenes. You don't see this. Or this is behind the scenes stuff you don't see. These are all the ball locations in Out of the Park Baseball. And then, of course, my favorite bit is the 3D model. And there it is. A very, very early Shibe Park, which actually I do want to kind of bring this down a little bit and kind of tilt you up there. There you go. This is where you save all your camera angles and stuff, but you guys already know that stuff. So, and if you don't, well, what can you say? Anyhow, let me switch this to daytime because we're going to have any night games in this one. So the overview cam, I'm going to save it and just update and okay. And I would probably go through and do all of these ballparks. That way I'm not messing about with it, but you really don't have to. And for those of you that care, we can also geo-reference it. And this ballpark is geo-referenced both within Google Maps and real-life distances. So Out of the Park using these real-life distances and geo-referenced relative to planet Earth. Bandbox ballparks. So Todd B, I'll definitely, I can't check it during a stream because if I click on it, it will think I'm trying to, let me see, maybe it will because this is not a YouTube site. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Oh yeah, it will. Oh, page not found. Ah. Oh, I see why, because it put Beatles in there. It's an idiot thing. Oh, Bandbox ballparks. Oh yeah, I love this. Oh, I'll be checking this out, Todd. Thank you. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my God. So you could find your, wow, in all these ballparks, find your seat in Crosley Field. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Todd. No, thank you. Yeah, old time parks. Also, was this you, Todd, last night that turned, or no, or was that D. Scott Howard? You guys, check out Back to Baseball. This thing's insane. After I did my little broadcast last night, imagine pretty much quote unquote seeing or quote unquote hearing virtually every game ever played in Major League Baseball. This thing's insane. You can go to specific plays in a specific game or look at a player and see what he did in a specific game. There's PQ Ribber. So guys, check it out. D. Scott, yeah, check out backtobaseball.com. Holy hell. In fact, Clinton wasn't here last night. I mentioned that Clinton, if he didn't know about this site, would really, really like it. It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, listening to the game is kind of a drag because it just uses the Microsoft narrator. But just, you know, if you're doing something else and you want to, hey, I'm curious about this certain game that maybe meant nothing, or hey, I want to just follow what happened in that great 1951 shot heard around the world game. Yeah, okay, so Clinton Parks knows about Back to Baseball. God, I love that site. All right. Anyhow, let's go back to our home screen, and we'll finish today. And I don't feel like configuring any buttons. There was a nasty bug last year in the Out of the Park 23 where occasionally if you tried to start a season replay, you would get this bizarre message that so-and-so player either had to be released or put on waivers or whatever, go to this screen to deal with that. And you just got the screen with all these players. And there was people found workarounds for it that was this thing was squashed, I was glad to see. And unlike last year, I can just play today, which is really nice, which is what we're going to do. All right, and we have no game today. We're going to play autoplay until Washington Senators, and I really don't care about important messages. All right, let's go play the Washington Senators. I haven't done any game in a while. Philadelphia Athletics over the roster limit. All right, so I've got to figure out. I've got too many guys. Oh, I have 27 guys on here. Let me see if I can just fix that easily. Then that way the game doesn't yell at me anymore. Oh, this is huge. We're not even going to get into this, by the way. So Todd, import MLB rosters. So this is pretty cool. Import player stats. So this is where all the magic happens for importing stuff. This is going to be a whole thing by itself altogether. We didn't even touch this crazy stuff here. But I want to change. Oh, there we go. Active roster size. I'm going to make it 30 players. There we go. Now it should let me play. I forgot that it does that. There we go. Problem solved. No, it's not bad. It's just not going to... It's fine. No, there was no limit, but I'm not... Yeah, the limit was smaller. Yeah. Yeah, I think the import is definitely. I'm not worried about that. I just want to play some baseball. So, of course, these great Philadelphia A's. This was the first of a 3-year run. Just one of my favorite teams, and just feel like messing around, man, having some fun. Player size 110. No, 100. I know that some guys like to use that big, like make the players like gargantuan looking, and all right. Yeah, let's go into it. We can, of course, look at the starting lineups and everything like that. Who's Washington going to throw at us? And hey, we see there's Goose Goslin, Joe Judge, Ozzie Blugie. So know some of these names. Muddy Rule. Let's play. And I'm going to fix this view. There we go. We're going to do overview for everything. We're at Griffith Stadium. Tiny bit of advertising there. Been a while since I've actually done a game in this. Other nice thing that you do here, hit the F8 key, you can get a spray chart for the hitter, which is really, really nice. And it works for every season, everything. If you're doing a World Series, you're doing a tournament, whatever, F8 toggles it off. And then we'll get our stadium fly around here in a minute. I'm not seeing the catcher, but that's okay. I don't see a DH in here, buddy. You're good. Of course, the BNN thing, you can have this running, kind of like a 10-minute ticker thing, which Action PC does. See all the games are going to be going on today at the same time. Maybe you can hone in on a game that you like, pause it, and what have you, and then start it back again. So I don't usually have that on until later when I do turn it on. All right, welcome to Griffith Stadium for opening day for the Philadelphia Athletics against the Washington Senators. Our temperature 61 degrees at game time and the wind out to right at 9 miles per hour. Let's play ball. So Sad Sam Jones takes the hill for the Washington Senators, and to lead it off here, Max Bishop. Second baseman bats lefty. Enjoy the game as we get a little panoramic slide around Griffith Stadium, Washington, D.C. Here's the pitch. And Bishop cuts on this one. And this one's going to go to the wall and center for extra bases. Bishop going for 2. He will slide in for a leadoff double. So Philadelphia coming out swinging with a base hit. And if you want, guys, I can change camera angles, anything you want, just let me know. Here is Homer Suma now. And again, I can look at any of these guys and I can say, you know, batted last year. Just have to just mouse over. 284 hitter, 57 runs batted in. Jones deals. Suma swings, and this one's going to be a little flare into center, and coming around to score. Nope, they're going to hold him up at third. So Max Bishop thought about coming home, but runners at the corners for the Athletics. Nobody out here. Top of the first for Black Mike, Mickey Cochrane. Cochrane in 1928. 10 home runs, 57 ribbies, a 293 average for the Hall of Fame catcher. Homer Suma, decent base stealer at first. Not as much speed as Max Bishop at third. Jones has the sign from catcher Muddy Rule. Here is the wind. And this one chopped to second, and this one bobbled by Hayes. Falls out of his glove. Bishop scores, and the Philadelphia Athletics take a 1-0 lead. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see when there's a runner on, how the runner will actually crouch and things like that. The fielders move. It's a lot more immersive now, and I like it. Can I replay that from the perspective of the runner? Probably could do that. Let's see. I think it's Super Stats Replay. There you go. Boom. See that? Now, how cool is that? This is new, the Super Stats Replay. I love it. So any play you could do that with. And if you just want to do just, you know, view a replay, you can do that from the camera angle that you had. And then we can just do that. And you're just going to see what happened. There you can see how he sort of crouched before he was going to run, the runner at first. So I really, really love that. You can see the outfielders kind of milling around a little bit. Yeah, that is cool. Just one more time. Damn it. Let's do it. So really, really like it. So it's not just a pretty face. 1-0 Athletics lead. Nobody out here. Homer Suma at second. Mickey Cochrane at first for Mule Haas. Mule Haas in 1928. 39 ribbies, 6 home runs, a 280 hitter. The one thing I still don't like about Action PC baseball, or that I don't like about Out of the Park baseball, is as the game progresses, you can't just mouse over and see what a player did in his last at bat. Nor can you look at that in scoring or anything like that. I really wish they would add that. It makes it a lot easier when you're broadcasting. And there's Aaron Reed. Welcome in, Aaron. All right, back to game action here. Sad Sam Jones has the sign from Muddy Rule. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And an Athletics run in here. Opening day. Here's the pitch. And this one's going to get past Muddy Rule. And Rule scrambling all the way to the backstop. And the runners will advance. So Suma at third, Cochrane at second, nobody out. And Mule Haas back in there. Good contact, good power hitter. Sam Jones lets it go, the 1-0. And this one solidly stroked up the middle. And this is going to be an RBI. The throw to the plate. This one getting past Rule. Bad throw from center field. And that's going to go as an E8. So bad throw there from Sam West. Second error committed by the Washington Senators. And Athletics capitalizing. 2 more runs and it's now 3-0, and we're just underway. I know a lot of people will be interested in games 3 and 4 of this when these Philadelphia Athletics will face the 1929 New York Yankees. So here is first baseman Sammy Hale. So 277 hitter, 1 home run, 40 runs batted in, which will also, it will give you that line down there. And let's continue. Jones delivers. Hale, sharply hit ground ball to second, and he is out of there. So Mule Haas now at third, and again, that wasn't, we should have looked at the bad throwing error. But again, let's just do this little replay. Boom. And I just love how that looks. And you get a nice look at their uniforms if you also notice not only the high socks, there's the little A. But later on in baseball, right, when you start seeing the names on the jerseys, that's also here as well. Let's change our initial action view to wide low, I guess. And let's do this. There we go. That's actually nicer. I think we'll set wide low for everything. And Blugie up with it, and Jimmy Fox is retired. Second out of the inning, but coming in to score is Mule Haas. So let's do that. Our initial action, review. So let's do wide low for everything. That looks nice. All right, now I can see everybody. Here is left fielder Bing Miller, 4-0 Philadelphia. This is going to be a laugher. Jones winds and fires. Miller swings, chopping ground ball to short, but Blugie has it, no chance. So he's going to eat that one up, and Bing Miller is going to collect the infield single. So 4 hits for the Philadelphia Athletics. 2 out for Jimmy Dykes. Shortstop in 1928, 277 hitter, 30 runs batted in, 5 home runs. Bing Miller at first, into his lead. See him crouch? That is so cool. Fly ball to left, and Goose Goslin has it into his sights and into his glove. 8 men bat for Philadelphia, and 4 of them score. Athletics holding an early 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. Leading off here, Sam West, center fielder. I've got to go in and fix some of these pictures, it looks like. Although that was a pretty nicely colorized one. Sam West in 1928, 302 hitter, 40 runs batted in, 3 home runs to lead it off here. Carol Yerkes finishing his warm-up pitches and ready to deal. Full count. And this one just off the outside corner. This fastball missing. So Sam West aboard with a leadoff walk, and here is Buddy Meyer. Many of you are wondering, where's Lefty Grove? He's coming. Yeah, I think this looks nice. Going to be a long season for Washington. Absolutely. Carol Yerkes delivers, and fly ball to center field. Buddy Meyer gets it out there, but Mule Haas drifting over, making a nice running catch. And let's look at what a ball looks like using that Super Stats replay. So I'm going to ride the ball out, and boom, nice. And thrown back in. I think that looks so cool. So you can see the exit velocity lines out and the throw back in. They've done so much with this awesome game this year. Todd B says he recently had back-to-back 17-2 drubbings in Action PC baseball. Ouch. Hall of Famer Goose Goslin. So 379 average in 1928, 17 home runs, 102 runs batted in. Carol Yerkes winds and fires. And this one, solid base hit into center field for Goslin. Dykes up with it in center field. And Sam West is in second base. Goose Goslin at first. Sorry, I am not used to broadcasting anymore, guys. It's been about a week. So West at second, Goslin at first for Red Barnes. At 417 at bats, he hit 305, 6 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Not a strong Senators team. This would, in fact, the last strong Senators team really was the Washington team that faced the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 1925 World Series. Of course, they won their only World Series in 1924. So Connie Mack would not again really have, Washington would not have another strong team. This would be the pretty much it for the Senators for the duration until they would move to Minnesota and become the Twins. Cochran sets the target. Yerkes checks the runners, the line, and this one, Carol Yerkes given up a walk, so he's loaded the bases. And here's Ozzie Bloogie. So Bloogie during 1928, 297 hitter, 75 runs batted in, 2 dingers for him. Also, I'm sure you're all aware, we can go to a classic 3D view. So if you really like your stats, there you go. Now you can see what each player did last year. So, and their career line, their real line for the season, and then home, how, so this will show through the season. So when this guy pitches again, Carol Yerkes, which actually I'm going to yank him out of the starting rotation. He shouldn't be in there. But you'll see all season, this is going to track how he did right there against a pitcher. I usually don't play this one because it kind of squashes everything, but it is kind of nice to have options. But I'm going to go back to the modern 3D view. There we go. Any scores going on concurrently? Not yet. All right. Here's the pitch to Bloogie swinging, and Bloogie sends this one base hit to right, and Bloogie, here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe. So 2 RBI double, and Washington cuts this Philadelphia lead in half. And we're not going to do this for everything, but I do love this. So this one gets by the first baseman by Fox. Throw in, and he is safe. That went off the line. You can see the numbers in the back of the jerseys. Moving crowd, all kinds of stuff. So I do think that cosmetics do help. Action PC, very beautiful game in its own right because you're dealing with photographs. Oh yeah, I did forget the 1933 Senators. I know he would be. Yep, you're right. The 33 Senators. They were able to put together one more, and they were a pretty good team. So I accidentally was calling them the Athletics, so you can see how I'm like super rusty. Super rusty. But just here to have fun tonight. Here's the delivery now to Joe Judge. Joe Judge swings, and this one sent to left, and this is going to get down for another base hit, and another run scores. Oh, nope, another run does not score. So hustling into third is Red Barnes, Ozzie Bloogie. So bases loaded for Jackie Hayes. That's right, Yerkes in trouble here. Only 1 out. Washington just roaring back here. Yerkes from the stretch. And Jackie Hayes, little flare out to right field. Will this score the runner? Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. So Barnes comes in to score, and Washington back within 1, making it a ball game here. So yeah, thank you, Big Clue. I need you to keep me honest here, buddy. Senators, of course, having that great team in 1913. Can't forget the 1913. That's a great year for Walter Johnson. And if we remember, our redoubtable Steve Tate was waiting for 1913 in Maui Shanks draft. Catcher Muddy Rule. Not sure how he got that name, but gotta love it. I'm not going to worry about doing like what each guy did last season. Let's just play. Yerkes delivers to Rule, and this one ball 4. So that's the 3rd walk given up by Carol Yerkes, and Washington able to capitalize. 4-3 your score, 2 down. Here's the pitcher, Sad Sam Jones. Carol Yerkes from the stretch. And Jones base hit. Pass short and coming in to score a tying run is Joe Judge, scoring, actually 2 score. So it's a 2 RBI single by Sam Jones, and it's Washington 5, Philadelphia 4. This could be a long game, which we end up simulating as it's getting a little bit late. All right, we're back at the top of the order now for Sam West. So 8 batted around for the Athletics, and now for the Senators, we've had 9 hitters. West sends this one liner to center, sinking but right into the glove of Mule Haas. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left, and the Senators jump out to a 5-4 lead, and we go to the top of the 2nd inning. Carol Yerkes, Max Bishop, and Homer Suma due up for the Athletics. And notice Jimmy Fox way down in that number 6 spot. That's weird to see. But this is doing as played lineups, just letting it do that. I'm doing a little tweaking. Jones delivers, and if you go to this one, liner into left, this is going to down for a base hit. So pitcher Carol Yerkes picks up the 5th base hit for the Philadelphia Athletics. Just think about this. Any game you're doing in your replay, you could go to that back to baseball and not only look at the line score, but watch how things played out, look at specific plays, what you might have done differently. Kind of enamored of that site now. So, and Todd B giving us the ballparks one, and maybe thinking how I could use that stuff in Action PC baseball. I think that'd be fun. All right, here is Max Bishop. Now here's the thing I was talking about. So Bishop is 1 for 1, but what Action PC baseball would tell me if I hover, it will say that Bishop, hit a double, hit whatever. The only way for me to really get to that is to go to the classic view there, but even that, I'm still getting a 1 for 1. I can't actually see what he does. The only way to really see that is you have to watch the play-by-play, because sometimes you'll get that and sometimes you won't. So you'll watch up here. So here's Bishop. It doesn't tell me. Oh, and the runner's moving. Nice bunt by Bishop. Sacrifice. And that will move Yerkes to second. So Max Bishop getting it done. Runner in scoring position. The tying run for the Athletics for Homer Suma. He is 1 for 1. He cuts on this. Fly ball to center field. And this one handled easily by Sam West. So 2 away for Philadelphia for Black Mike, Mickey Cochran. He's 0 for 1 with a run batted in. Fires it in, and Cochran grounds it to first. And taking it to the bag himself is Joe Judge. So side retired. Philadelphia gets a base hit, and that's all. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's the Washington Senators 5, the Philadelphia Athletics 4, and Buddy Meyer, Goose Goslin, and Red Barnes to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd. Yerkes deals southpaw. And this one, little flare into center. So Buddy Meyer picking up the base hit. And that is the 5th for the Senators. So big clue. Yep, 90 years ago makes many minds fuzzy, right? Harold Rule caught a doctored baseball in mud from the ball spider over his face and impact, hence muddy thereafter. Thanks, Big Clue. Appreciate you. Here is Hall of Famer Goose Goslin. 1 for 1 against the Athletics. Runner aboard. And here's the pitch to Goslin. Goslin, comebacker to the mound, and they're going to go to second. So nice play by Yerkes to cut down the lead runner, getting Buddy Meyer. So they do not turn 2, but they do get the lead runner. So Goslin at first for Red Barnes. Yerkes peers in, has the sign for Mickey Cochran. Here is the wine. He walked last time up. And routine fly ball to center field. Ranging over to his left is Mule Haas calling off Bing Miller for the 2nd out of the inning. Also, it's interesting about the comparison between these 2 games is this one's faster. You can slow down the action a bit, but if you're broadcasting this game, streaming this game, it's definitely faster than Action PC. And because all of these things disappear, you got to kind of watch this, you got to kind of watch the replay, and all that kind of crazy stuff. So probably should have just done an Action PC game, but I'm having fun. All right, Ozzie Bloogie is 1 for 2. He's got 2 RBI. Yerkes sets and fires to Ozzie Bloogie, the 1-1. Bloogie sends this liner to right, but going back just a bit is Homer Suma making the catch. Nice running catch. Side retired, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. A runner left on, and we go to the top of the third. It's the 1929 Senators 5, the 1929 A's 4. Mule Haas, Sammy Hale, and Jimmy Fox. So Mule Haas with 2 runs batted in. Sam Jones, thus far in the game, has neither struck out nor walked a batter. The righty winds and fires the 1-1 to Mule Haas. And Haas, little grounder to second, and a diving stop by Hayes, but unable to get it. So they're going to score that. An infield single, sharply hit. So the score is being kind on that. Runner aboard for Sammy Hale. Waiting on deck is Devil X, Jimmy Fox. Here's the pitch to Hale. Runners go, and the sacrifice is on. And they're going to go to second, and he is out. So great heads-up play there by Joe Judge. Let's look at that replay, because that one should be fun to see. Here we go. So the bunt is down. They're going to go to second, and they got him. All right, here is Jimmy Fox. So let's look at what Jimmy Fox did in 1928. Again, only 13 home runs. So Jimmy Fox not yet coming into his own, but he will, becoming one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. Jones checks Hale at first, 1 out, 5-4 your score. Jones delivers, full count, sinking liner to right, and right into the glove of Barnes for out number 2. So Jimmy Fox grabs some pine, and here's Bing Miller, 1 for 1. Jones brings it home. Bing Miller swings on the 2-1 pitch, and they're going to go to Bloogie will go to second for the out, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A man left on. It's still 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the third. And Joe Judge will lead it off here. 1 for 1 for Judge. Yerkes with 3 walks, having some control issues here. Washington capitalizing, scoring 5 in the first, answering Philadelphia's 4. Yerkes with the 0-1 delivery to Joe Judge. Singled his last time up. Judge swings, grounded to short. Up and over with it is Jimmy Dykes. On to Jimmy Fox for out number 1. Jackie Hayes now with an RBI in this game. The 1-0 delivery was a sacrifice. And this one just a little number out in front of the plate. But Jimmy Cochran bare hands it, makes the throw on to Jimmy Fox for out number 2. Todd B asking folks not to forget the like button. Thank you, Todd. I can always, I really appreciate that you do that. It means a lot. Really, really does. All right, and here is Muddy Rule, and we thank Big Clue for the story and how Muddy got his name. Cochran with the sign for Carol Yerkes, the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Muddy Rule walked his last time up. A little comebacker to the mound. Yerkes has it. Close play at first, and they're not going to get him. Infield hit for Muddy Rule. So 1 on, 2 down for Sam Jones. So the pitcher for these Washington Senators, 1 for 1, 2 runs batted in for him. And Jones lines this one to left. This is going to get down for a base hit. So Sam Jones helping his own cause. 7 hits now for these Washington Senators. 13 hits total in this game. Muddy Rule at second. Sam Jones at first. 2 down We're back at the top of the order for the Washington Senators and Sam West. Yerkes brings it home. And Sam West grounds to short. And the 6-3 put out. Jimmy Dykes making the nice throw. Washington strands a pair. They do not score. And we go to the top of the fourth inning. It's the Washington Senators 5, the Philadelphia Athletics 4. Todd, the next time I do something with Out of the Park Baseball, I'll show the player reports. I'm sorry I didn't get to that. Okay, so Jimmy Dykes will lead off. Carol Yerkes in the top of the Philadelphia order, and Max Bishop. By the way, guys, let's keep our thoughts and prayers going out for cousin Ken Castro. He says he's on a long recovery. Clinton Parks is kindly going to be the interim manager for Ken Castro's Ocean State Sweet Clams team in the Howie Shanks League. So be looking for cousin to get back when he is ready. Jimmy Dykes now. Nothing for one. Sam Jones rubs up the ball, peers in, has the sign for Muddy Rule. The 3-1 delivery to Jimmy Dykes. And Dykes swinging on this one, and liner right to Joe Judge. Good play to Joe Judge. You knew this was going to happen. So this one, crispy line. Joe Judge just pulls that one out of the air. Nice play by Judge. You see there, if you look a little closely, you see these uniforms are pretty accurate too, with the little W's there, the Washington Senators logo, all nice. This is a mod that's available along with this ballpark mod. I suggest you get the ballpark mod and the historic uniforms mod. Great, great stuff. Mike Silva is absolutely brilliant. So looking at Sam Jones' number back in 1928, he was 17-7. Pretty decent, 2.84 under on average for Sam Jones. Let's check our out-of-town scoreboard as we're playing. The Indians right now over Detroit 2-1. St. Louis and Cincinnati tied at 3. I'll let that play over there. That will disappear when the play starts. Pirates over the Cubs 1-0 in the top of the second. Okay, and we'll stop it right there. Here's Carol Yerkes. Yerkes swings, high fly ball to center field, calling for it, and making the grab is Goose Goslin. So 2 down, bases empty for Max Bishop. So Sam Jones, each pitcher, Yerkes and Jones, having a rough first inning, but each of them settled down now and putting up just some big fat zeros. Max Bishop bats lefty. Second baseman for the Mac men is 1 for 1. Jones delivers. The 1-1. Bishop sack bunt last time. This one, just a little grounder to first, and Joe Judge will take it to the bag unassisted. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Senators 5 and the Athletics 4. Rodolfo Baeza. Any way to get the ballpark's uniform mods if using the non-steam version? So yeah, for the ballparks, Rodolfo, and welcome to the channel. All you have to do is, so Mike Silva has a, there's a whole big like zip file you can get as one big zip file, and all you have to do is extract everything into your ballparks folder in Out of the Park Baseball. Now the only thing is I would have to show you, and if you want to hang out for a few minutes, I won't complete this game. I'll show you how to actually work with that and get ballparks in if you'd like. Just let me know. Type a yay or a nay or a yes or a no. Yes, we are wishing Ken all the best. Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans, welcome in. He says he likes Joe Judge, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. Should he be? Chatted with his son on Twitter years ago. Wow. How cool is that? Joe Judge, certainly a forgotten player. That is for sure. And Rodolfo, I would invite you maybe later on to check out the first part of this video when I get into some of the deep history bits. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're very, very welcome, Rodolfo. Very happy to be of helpful assistance. So yeah, if you have the non-steam version, you can still do it. I believe the uniform mod is the same way, so you can there on the Out of the Park forums. All right, here is Buddy Meyer. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. 7 hits for Washington, 6 for Philadelphia. Carol Yerkes rubbing up the ball. Peers in, has the sign from Black Mike. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Buddy Meyer. And Meyer shoots this one to short. And Jimmy Dykes takes it on the short hop. Strong peg down to Jimmy Fox for the 6-3 put out. And one away here in the bottom of the fourth for Goose Goslin. 1 for 2 for Goslin. Cochran sets up just a bit. Yerkes with the 1-0 to Goslin. Goslin rips on this one. Hard ground ball to second. But Max Bishop with a nice easy play in the 4-3 put out. Big clue saying why Judge instead of Jacques Fournier or Jake Daubert or Ed Kenichi for that matter. Too many better players at the position. He says Judge was fine player, but he has to pass a lot of Hall of Fame. So we get an opinion there for, and we have so talked about this. And again, player you missed out there to Sherry McGee. Why he's not in the Hall of Fame is absolutely just astounding too. Goose Goslin is one of your favorite players. Jackass Whiskey Pinto Beans, who's a great player, definitely. Yeah, and yet Sonny Jim Bottomley and High Pockets Kelly are in the Hall of Fame. I have no idea. I don't think anybody does. Neither does the Baseball Hall of Fame, right? All right, Red Barns. What a fun nickname that is. My understanding is there used to be a fast food joint called Red Barn, and they had chicken and stuff like that. Whatever. So Red Barns, anyhow. Carol Yerkes with the 2-1 to Barnes. The lefty deals. Barnes swings. Fly ball to center field. Camping under it and making the catch is Muehlhaus for out number 3. The Senators go in order, but they maintain their 5-4 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Not sure if Rodolfo is still here. If he is, I'll gladly simulate out the rest of this game. It's becoming an interesting one, though, and show him how to bring the ballparks in on the non-steam version. Todd B says, all right, gang, got to be up early tomorrow. Thanks, Beatles. You're welcome, Todd B. Thank you for coming in, my friend. All right, Homer Suma will lead it off here for the Philadelphia Athletics, followed by Mickey Cochran and Muehlhaus. Suma on the day is 1 for 2. Sad Sam Jones having a good day at the plate and now keeping Philadelphia quiet after that 4-run first. First pitch swinging, Suma grounded to short, and scooping it up is Ozzie Bluege. And on to Joe Judge in the 6-3 putout. Big clue, Kelly and Bottomley reached teammates Frankie Frisch, who was, as an old man, dominated the Vets Committee selections. Worst nepotism in Hall of Fame history came in Frisch's tenure. Yeah. And Frankie Frisch was such, Frankie Frisch was such a great player, and I guess given that honor of being head of Veterans Committee, and yeah, you're right. Yep, great player, terrible Hall of Fame voter. He was a great player, but yeah, buddies with Bottomley and High Pockets Kelly. Of the two, Jim Bottomley is at least closer. I think between Bottomley and High Pockets Kelly, I'd say Jim Bottomley was probably the better player, but again, Hall of Good, not a Hall of Fame, right? All right, here's Black Mike, Mickey Cochran, a man you're not going to question about his induction into the Hall. Freddie Lindstrom, Jesse Haynes, Ross Youngs. Yep. Lots of Cardinals, lots of Giants, and who did Frankie Frisch play for? The Cardinals and the Giants. That'd be like Kyler bringing in a bunch of Cubs and Pirates, right? All right, Jones delivers to Black Mike. Here's the 1-2 to the Philadelphia catcher. And Cochran looks at a called third strike. So, nice pitch. Let's see where that one landed. And that one just on the outside corner. So, nice pitch. We can see the little line going around the horn. Pretty cool stuff. All right. I don't know. It'd be really cool if you could switch camera angles on that. I don't know if you could do that while it's in play. It'd be nice to see what does it look like. You know, a lot of times if you have did it just clear the fence? And of course, you're watching Major League Baseball and you've got cameras all over the place. And I don't know whether that's possible. I need to look. Here's the delivery now. Center fielder Mule Haas. And that's going to be his second base hit of the game. So Haas making a couple nice running catches out there in center field for Philadelphia. And now picks up his second base hit. Here's Sammy Hale. Haas at first base. Jones with a check of the runner. Jones picking up the game's first strikeout. Jones deals. And Sammy Hale sinking liner left. This one will get down. So 2 aboard. And here come the Athletics now. So Mule Haas in scoring position. Sammy Hale trailing him at first. And here's Jimmy Fox. Fox 0 for 2 with a run batted in. 5-4 your score here in the top of the 5th in Washington, D.C. Sam Jones delivers. And Fox swing on the first pitch. And fly ball's going to get down. And this is going to be an RBI for Fox. And that single ties the game. And the Athletics score run number 5 on the Fox RBI single. So Sammy Hale at second, the Beast, not known yet as the Beast, at first. Hey, there's John DFW. And yes, John, you left before I could answer it. Obviously, as you know, the Stadium mod and the Uniform mod are available in Steam Workshop. So we're at Griffith Park. Good to see you, buddy. Bing Miller, 1 for 2. Philadelphia looking to break this tie. And Bing Miller lays off. And this one, his fastball missing just inside. Sam Jones wanting that call, not getting it. So bases loaded with Philadelphia Athletics. And here is Jimmy Dykes. Dykes nothing for 2. Good contact. Pretty good power hitter too, for that matter. Above average, at least. Jones from the stretch to Dykes, the full count. Dykes swings, and this one through for a base hit. Dykes will break up this tie, and this is going to be a 2 RBI single, as there will be no throw to the plate. Throw comes into the cutoff man, Jackie Hayes at second, and Philadelphia now with a 7-5 lead here in the top of the 5th. This has been the first scoring by either team since the first. Christopher Slovic, and he says he is loving it. This is great to see you, Christopher. It's been a while since I've been on. He says love the old dead ball games. This one a little past dead ball. We're 1929. This is going to be a sometime replay. Good to see you, my friend. How's the Creators Cup doing? How are my 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates doing? Big Clue says earlier, imagine if, say, Yogi Berra or Ford or Mando had done that on the Veterans Committee. Suddenly we get Wright, Skowron, Woodling, and Henrik and Lopat in the hall. Absolutely. Although, I wonder if Willie Stargell would have made it if we would have seen Dave Parker, who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So there are some players I wish would have been on that committee or what have you, but Stargell's dead, and we're going to have to wait for maybe, I don't know, maybe Steve Blass will make it. Finally, Dave Parker will make it into the Hall of Fame. I think a good case can be made for Bill Madlock, but no, you're definitely right. You're definitely right, Big Clue. Bing Miller at third, Jimmy Dykes at first for Carol Yerkes. Yerkes has had, he's gone 1 for 2 today at the dish. Sam Jones doing a little better here. See if Yerkes can help pad the Philadelphia lead from the stretch. Yerkes swinging on the first pitch. Slow grounder to third, and the throw to first just in time. Buddy Myers making a great play. But Yerkes is safe at first. So they're calling that an error. We're going to definitely look at that and see what happens there. Looked like he had the ball. Let's have a look. And a little diving stop. It was a throwing error. So E5. Oh, and the exit velocity was 86 point. There you go. The launch angle. So we're getting all kinds of fun modern baseball here in 1929. Pretty cool. Creators Cup is really good. All stats can be found Okay, on Facebook, guys, check it out. Christopher Slovik had folks naming their 5 favorite teams all time through baseball history and doing a Creators Cup series. So we need to see how my 1902 Buccos are doing. Yep. I know we're picking on Harold Baines again, but why the hell not? Big Clue says, honestly, the Baines pick was the worst. Cronyism says Frankie Frisch. Jerry Reinsdorf and LaRussa were on that committee. So you're going to give Parker a bit of a pass because of early 80s different performance. But definitely one of the best in his area. And the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates were 45-15 last broadcast, says Christopher Slovik. Good to hear it. I love my 1902 Buccos. All right, Max Bishop batting with 2 down. Jimmy Dykes at second. Carol Yerkes at first. Out of town scoreboard. What's going on? Cleveland leading Detroit 2-1. And let's go ahead and do that. Cincinnati over St. Louis right now, 4-3. They're in the third. The White Sox 2-0 over the Browns in the third. Chicago and Pittsburgh tied at 1 in the top of the third. And that's where we are right now in the out-of-town scoreboard. Garland Braxton now into pitch for the Senators. We'll look at his numbers in a second. And Bishop is going to ground out, and that ends it. But Philadelphia scores 4 more times in this game, 8-5. So normal was too fast and slow creates drama. Let's look at let me see let me switch this to slow and out of the park baseball. Chris does a lot more out of the park broadcasts than I do. So let's see. Let's try that. I have it at normal right now. So let's try slow as opposed to slightly slow. Let's see what happens here. No, World's Worst. I don't. Did Big Clue? I don't think Big Clue was saying. No, he wasn't saying that Frankie Frisch was a bad pick for the Hall of Famer. Not for the Hall of Fame. There's no way. He's saying as far as being head of the Veterans Committee, he was a bad voter. But no, Frankie Frisch, great player. And so I think maybe that wasn't very clear. Frankie Frisch was a great player. No denying Frisch's ability as a baseball player, and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's the guys he helped get in that don't. Let's look here quickly at Garland Braxton, who is on in relief now for the Washington Senators, interestingly enough. Let me see here. So right now trailing by 5. So what did he do in 1928? Tell you what, we'll just look at him when he comes back up. Let's just go back to the game. Yep. All right, so Christopher is suggesting slow speed. Let's see what happens. Southpaw Yerkes ready to deal. And this one outside, and the Senators have a base runner. So Steve Yerkes with his forced walk. Actually, that's not too bad. Kind of like that. So Ozzie Blugie at first. Play around with it a little bit. And here's another Ozzie. Wow, we have Ozzie. Who is this guy? Ozzie Orwell now on for the Philadelphia Athletics. In 1928, he was 6-5 with 2 saves, 106 innings worked, 50 walks, 53 strikeouts, a 4.58 earned run average. I think he's in there just to get some innings now. Philadelphia with a 3-run advantage. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Big Clue cleared it up, and he was indeed an all-time great player. Easy inner circle Hall of Famer. The Fordham Flash. All right, Blugie at first. Here's the delivery now. And this one popped out to second. Actually, you're right, Chris. glad you came in. I kind of like the slow. It does feel that. Just as contrast. Let's go back to where we were. So we were at normal. So we're going to look at normal. Back to game action. So here's normal. Oh, yeah. Wow. Because of the scale. Now, if you're sitting close down on the field, that fastball is going to look realistic. But, yeah, you're right. With the scale of the park, slow seems to be perfect. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. So there, tip, guys, from Christopher Slovic. Set 3D animation speed to slow. Here's the delivery. I'm not even paying attention. Oh, yeah, I like that. Nice. It is, but it also feels real. It feels good. All right, so Washington gets a walk, but nothing else. I think we're going to go ahead at this point and just sim this one out since it's an 8-5 game. Let's do it. All right. So, oh, wow. I am so sorry we did that. It ended up that the Senators mounted a comeback and just get edged 8-7. Oh, well. One never knows. Anyhow, the 1929 season began for the Senators with a loss to the Philadelphia Athletics at Griffith Stadium. Final score was 8-7. Philadelphia center fielder Mule Haas had a fine performance. Philadelphia reliever Ozzie Orville got the win, raising his record to 1-0. Sam Jones was tagged with a loss. And let's see, Philadelphia shortstop Jimmy Dykes contributed a timely at bat. In the top of the fifth with 2 down, he hit a fastball into right for a 2-run single, and that was his first hit of the season. I always love the graph in Out of the Park Baseball and the fact that you can edit game recaps. Really cool. Game log, which is really nice. This is like film, a thing called film that you find in Action PC Baseball, and you get everything situationally, which is nice. Love it, love it, love it. And there's the edit recap. We can go to our network, look at all the games, some of the finals, stuff like that. So, wow, the Cubs whooping the Pirates right now, 9-2 in the bottom of the 8th. White Sox up 4-0 on the St. Louis Browns. Another nice thing I love about Out of the Park Baseball is you can actually go in and watch games that you haven't played, which is really cool. Or just look at highlights. So much. 1929 was nuts, says World's Worst Gamer. I think it happened. Pitching was a mess. World's Worst Gamer, you recently did a 1929. Didn't you? You did a 1929 replay, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, I don't know if Rodolfo was in here, but we'll talk about how you get ballparks in. So we're going to pretend that I don't have this mod, and we're going to save this game. And we're going to go to one that I'm not really terribly... in fact, I created it mostly for messing around. So let's go to the start screen. And we're going to load a game, and we're going to do 1977. Because I don't really, if I mess that up, who cares? You completed 1929. Cool. All right, so we're loading in 1977. There we are. There's the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, so the only thing that's going to be different if you're watching this, if you're a non-Steam owner, you have this game and you have it through the creators, basically just know where your ballparks go. And I believe in the non-Steam version, it's program files, out of the park developments, and then you'll see the directory structure there. It's the only difference. All right, so when you're on here, go to your team home screen. All right, you're going to go to settings, and then you're going to go to edit ballpark. All right, and actually this one did not import the PRK file, so good thing we looked. This is obviously not through River Stadium. So we're going to put We're going to do manually import data from file into this park. So let's do that first. Okay. And it looks like we got to go up. And we got to find Three Rivers. So the PRK files, what those are, for those of you not maybe too sure, those are the ballpark factors. Okay, so we're playing 1977, so we went Three River Stadium, 75 to 2000. And then we want to look, actually we want to look for this guy right here, the diagram. Okay, the PRK file, so we do this, and do I want to keep the current factors? Yep, there we go, that's better. Then you know it works. So now we have Three Rivers, and it has its proper, and you can drag guys around if you want, but it has the proper park factors. Anyhow, so I didn't realize that was going to happen, but that's okay. So let's go to our 3D model. It's going to load it. There's Three Rivers as it was from 1975 to its demise in 2000. But let's say I wanted to change the ballpark. Well, that's easy enough. I can load a 3D model. Now, here's what's important. The ballparks that come with the game have an extension POD. If you're using the ballparks from Mike Silva, whether it's through the Steam mod or through just doing it, downloading and unzipping them and everything, those are OBJ files, wavefront object files, which is what Google SketchUp will save into wavefront. And OBJ is basically, so if I wanted to, for instance, just a little off topic, this is for 3D artists out there, I could actually take this, and I don't think Mike Silva probably has the time to do this, I could take this Three River Stadium into Blender and make it almost photorealistic. But no, I'm not going to do it, by the way. But let's say for the bucks, just for giggles, maybe I want to put them in Candlestick in 1970. So I'm going to select that. The object file, you don't have to pick textures. It's going to pull that in, load, and all of a sudden, just like magic, now they're at the stick. And I probably would also want to make sure that these pictures and coordinates are proper. So once again, if you're seeing Citizens Bank Park, you'll know that this didn't work as far as ballpark factors. Then all you do, just go in and just do manually import and just go up and find the stick. It can be a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't remember what year I picked for the stick, so we'll just go here, grab this PRK file, load it, click yes, and there it is. And this would be ready to go if I wanted to put the Pirates in Candlestick Park. That could very well be, John. I haven't really messed with it. This is again just a league that I've set up to play around with and to show people how to do things. You can look at these daytime pictures, and then again you can select the 3D model from there. But now I'm gonna switch it back to Three Rivers again. This is where the Beatles played their final live concert, if you don't count the concert on the roof of Apple. All right, right here, you're going to load your 3D model, go up. And again, you have your, so for if you have this on if you just bought it out of the park, outside Steam, it's going to be whatever drive program files, x86. I believe it's out of the park developments, OTP24, and then data, ballparks. So when you download that file, Mike Silva provides that link in the forums. He has a media file. You can just download everything, unzip all the ballparks, and then you'd have to manually do all this stuff. Steam already just does it automatically, which is nice. So that's how you do it, Rodolfo. If you catch this later or what have you, it's that simple. The uniform mod. I've never tried installing that, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Okay, let's grab the obj for Three Rivers, and boom, now we're back in Three Rivers. And because I'm, sort of doing some fussing about, as it were, I've got to just bring this back in. I could probably auto import stuff. And there we go. I didn't even have to look. It found it. You can also automatically import. So there we go. No, Mike Silva was talking about, even in other iterations of Out of the Park Baseball, that sometimes that didn't load and you could just do that. So, you can even do sounds. All kinds of sounds in here if you want. Um, change up weather. Why you would want to, I don't know, but you can really do it. Even has a weather database, which is really nice. So anyhow, a little bit of out of park baseball. Big clue. I need to ask you a question since I can't seem to reach Steve Tate. Have you and Steve decided when opening day is going to be for the Howie Shanks Bingo League? Just curious. Because I'm kind of out of the loop, it seems. And I know we're still waiting for guys to do their ballparks and team names and stuff like that. Just wondering when we're gonna get started. While I wait for Big Clue, we'll go back to this league history thing that we were doing. Um, we were doing 1929. So again, now you can look. Now you've got the entirety of baseball, but up to 1976. Again, really nice just to get a sense of what was going around. Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow evening. If everybody's ready, I guess so. I'll download the league file when I get home from work tomorrow. Because yes, I can. Because I'm off Thursday. So yeah. I just thought maybe Steve might like the honors because he's done a lot of work on this, and or you would have if you were a content creator. So it doesn't have to be me doing it. Just curious when opening day was. But I will definitely look in Discord. I must have missed that because I was asking that before I came on. John DFW says he's thinking of replaying 1960 and Out of the Park baseball. Good season. Who would you manage, John, if you're doing 1960? What club would you do? And thank you for responding, Big Clue. Appreciate it. What happened in the National League in 1965? There we go. Isn't that nice? Look at the cool things that Out of the Park baseball does, and people don't think this is a serious baseball sim. Ha! Oh, Milwaukee Braves. Nice. Well, you know what? Without even having to do it, without even leaving the farm, let's look at the National League in 1960. And indeed, the Milwaukee Braves finished 6.5 back of the Pittsburgh Pirates, an 88 and 66 record for them. Scored 724 runs, 655 again, or 658 against. Pretty good pennant race. I mean, the Cardinals were 9 games back. So that looks like a good one for the National League. What happened in the American League? Of course, the Yankees, but the Orioles pretty good year. The White Sox. So yeah, nice. You're gonna have a pretty decent pennant race going down the line both ways. But let's go back to the National League and let's look at these Braves here for a second. There they are, getting all their fielding stats. Even does stats by position. I love it. Breaks it down, breaks it down, breaks it down. There's the team batting leaders, and this does it for every team. So you really want to get a quick glance at your team. Again, Out of the Park gives you that. and absolutely love it. And there's Hank Aaron. Man, you got that. You have Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews on that Braves team, and then you got Warren Spahn as your pitcher. 21 wins that year for Spahn. Good stuff. Lou Burdette pitched 18 complete games, 4 shutouts that year. Also had 13 losses, but um, fine team. Eddie Matthews, not a great on base percentage though, huh? 397. Hank Aaron with a slugging percentage. Wow, I know some of these names. Look at Red Schoendienst. He played for everybody, didn't he? And you can look at each team and all that kind of stuff. Draft history. If you were doing a draft, this would give you a draft. If you could look at a draft, whatever. Aaron and Matthews had great seasons. Yeah, right. There's Hammer and Hank. There's 1960. 40 home runs that year, 126 runs batted in. And then, yeah, right. So led the league that year, Aaron. Where'd you go? There you go. Led the league in RBI that year and hit 292. There he is, Hammer and Hank. Let's look at Eddie Matthews, man. Should we just go back and look at teams here for a second? I like this. I love the fact that this, why it's calling it the Milwaukee Brewers is kind of silly. Oh, I see why it's doing that. Because this is all the way up to, there they are. So what about this crazy Eddie Matthews dude here? There he is. Eddie. 39 home runs, 124 runs batted in. Just crazy. Just crazy. Hank Aaron only struck out 63 times that year in 1960 for the Braves. Oh, John, that's going to be a fun one. Joe Torre was 19 years old. Where are you, Joe? Mr. Torre. That's funny to think of Joe Torre as just, right, being 19. God, can't even find him on. I mean, he's in here, but my eyes are tired. Yeah, John, I think that'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Aaron Reed is asking. He's just curious about something. What baseball season holds the record for the most rainouts or weather delays? You know, let's look. Let's look, man. Let's see. Baseball season had the most rainouts. I think Big Clue and I are racing here. Hmm. So, looks like your answer might be on Reddit. And it looks like, wow, the 1923 White Sox, according to this, had 12 rainouts, 2 games postponed to wet grounds, 1 postponed due to cold, and 2 postponed due to the death and funeral of President Warren Harding. 1944 Dodgers had 11 rainouts. So, again, though, it's Reddit, so I would probably look at a couple other sources. But yeah, I don't know that. And the longest rain delay in baseball history was August 12th, 1990. The Red Sox hosting Robbie Wartburg's problematic Rangers. Hmm. Which baseball city has the worst weather? Boston ranks number one, huh? Looks like. Eh. World's Worst Gamer asking, speaking of the league we are starting about the ballparks, he emailed Dave Cook Sports to get an answer from the horse's mouth to find out ballpark dimensions matter at all in the game. I really want to know. Um, my understanding is they do. Eddie Matthews, the only Brave to play for the Boston Braves, Milwaukee Braves, and Atlanta Braves. Nice Braves trivia there. Now that being said, I don't. They're not geo-referenced like out of the park baseball. So I guess be interested to see what Dave Cook says. So hopefully you hear back from him, World's Worst Gamer. Face palm from Big Clue. He's face palming. I'm seeing Captain Picard. So yeah, I didn't know that about Eddie Matthews. And now we have some punctuation going up in the chat. Eddie Matthews, criminally underrated. Yeah, you don't hear him talked about when people talk about third base, great third baseman, and yet he was. At least Eddie's in the Hall of Fame. One year, so he played 1 year for Boston before the move to Milwaukee. That's a cool stat. So I was going to ask, took Matthews 5 tries. I can't. Yeah, that's just, you're right, that is criminal. Let's look at Eddie. So he started in 1952. So here's a guy, right? Big Clue is talking 5 tries to get elected by the Baseball Writers Association of America. 512 career home runs, 1,453 runs batted in. I mean, okay, he didn't get 3,000 hits, but that home run total, right? Come on, the guy hit 72 triples. This guy had a hell of a career, right? Led the league twice in homers in 1953, 1959. Never led an RBI, but that's all right. Um, wow. What a career. I don't know. And for people like War, pretty good numbers there for that. On base percentage in 1963. That's a Hall of Fame career. Definitely. And we could look at his fielding and stuff like that if we really wanted to. But hmm. I would agree with that, Big Clue, only if you got to put Brooks Robinson in the top 5 as third baseman. And then I would say, yeah, Matthews definitely behind. Because Matthews and Mike Schmidt with immense power, of course. But Brooks Robinson had some pop and otherworldly defense. I mean, I think Brooks Robinson's got to be in the top 5 all time for third base. What's his ratings look like here? Let's look at fielding. Well, oh, this is for in-game, so we can't really do uh, any sort of fielding stats or anything yet. Okay, World's Worst Gamer was talking about postseason. So what did he do in the postseason? Okay, only one home run, 1957. Um, so yeah, he's a pretty crap in 58 as far as that goes, but 1957, he only hit 227, struck out 5 times, walked 8 times, home run, 4 runs batted in. We should actually look at this game on Back to Baseball. Whatever game he did, whatever he did. So he didn't do so great in postseason, but it's a great career. You can't deny it. John DFW says he would probably put Eddie Matthews behind Brooks Robinson. But I guess we all agreed Michael Jack Schmidt, greatest third baseman in baseball. Hard to argue against that one, that's for sure. Anyhow, this has been fun. I hope that early on, maybe you guys got some sort of some things about maybe Out of the Park that you didn't realize that it did, or what have you. Ah, man, did we even make a baseball card for Eddie Matthews? We should make a baseball card for him sometime. Yeah. No baseball card found. Let's see. Can we do it? Select template. Let's make a Hall of Famer. I don't know what the title is. That's optional. There he is. Oh, look at that. Now that is way cool. There we go. We created a Hall of Fame plaque for Eddie Matthews, and boy, I wish you could really. Well, yeah, I guess you can't open, and I'd have to bring it over. But it looks nice. It's not going to look any bigger for you guys. So there you go. The Hall of Fame. We're going to delete it. Yep. I didn't want to delete the picture, but yeah, I forgot about this feature. Um, let's just look at a default baseball card. What do they look like? Uh, I think Steve Tate hasn't beat in baseball card creating. There's Eddie. Steady Eddie. Let's look at one more. This is fun. I really forgot about this. You can also import. So if Steve had a PNG image, he could bring. So that'd be another thing. Todd B already went to sleep. So all those pictures that Steve made, convert them to PNGs and bring them in here, and you have baseball cards as template. So that would be nice. Or all his card image files. So that's nice. Let's not give Steve any ideas. Let's give him a Hall of Fame single plaque. There it is. Pretty cool. Except what they should have done was used a little bit of kind of AI magic, if you will, and make that like that sort of embossed look on the plaque. But otherwise, look how many times the guy was an all-star. Look at this. This is incredible. Look at this. Jesus. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God, that's crazy. And yet it took, what'd you say, Big Clue? 5. Yeah, Steve's cards are ridiculous. They're so good. Oh, yeah, so you found, yeah, there is the feature in Action PC Baseball to make baseball cards, and they're pretty cool, too. I have one that I did screwing on Norm Cash lying around somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is. They look really nice. Actually, I think they look nicer than the ballparks on here. Yeah, we even have a BNN page here for Eddie Matthews. Holy shit, look at that. There's his postseason stats, his fielding stats, leaderboard appearances. So it really is like having baseball reference inside a game. Yeah. We have 16 postseason games to outweigh the more than 2,000 regular season games where he dominated the league. Shaking my head. Yep. Nope. No, not at all. I've heard that Eddie Matthews was actually a pretty decent guy. Pretty decent guy. Let's look him up because there's some bits here I don't that I haven't found that maybe you have to do in baseball reference. So tonight we're praising a player that deserves to be in there rather than um, who's our. We should do. World's Worst Gamer talked about doing the original idea of he wanted to do a league with no Hall of Famers, and we should do it, and we should do it in honor of Harold Baines, who is in the Hall of Famer but shouldn't be, right? Or is in the Hall of Fame. So there he is. There's Eddie. 12-time All-Star. Insane. Let's look at Eddie's black ink. Well, he's got more in Harold, that's for sure. So it shows up a little bit better here. But what I want to go down here, all the way down here, and look at all these ratings here. Let's see. 5 Hall of Fame. Let's look at the results. So look at this, guys. So in the 1974, right? So Eddie retires, finishes with the Tigers in 1968. So it's 5 years you have to wait. So he makes on about 1974, 32% of the vote. And 75, 40%. It goes up. Finally, he gets in 1978 with 79.4% of the vote. 12-time All-Star, 8 awards. This guy, right? His career shares, he's 150th in career shares. MVP voting results. Um, he was first in 1961 in offensive WAR. His career, he's 21st. 11 seasons in the top 11. This is a serious player. What were they waiting for? God only knows. Two-time home run champ. He's 23rd in the all-time list. 12 seasons in the top 10. I'd take him. Look at these numbers, man. And what a crazy stretch. I mean, he's no lower than fifth when you go from 1952 to 1960. And then you see that power drop off in 61, 62. I mean, damn it, he's near the end of his career. And still manages 32. He's seventh in the home run in 1961 with 32 home runs. All right. So the average Hall of Famer, all right, his black ink, he is a little bit lower in black ink. He's above in the gray ink. Average Hall of Famer is a 100. He's a 162. Hall of Fame standards. Yeah. So he's second. He's rated second. Big clue. I know, right? So he's rated second all time among third basemen. And look who he's similar batters with. And check this out, guys. Mike Schmidt, Ernie Banks, Stretch, Mantle, McGriff, Sosa, Killebrew, Stargell, and most similar by age. This is what I love about this. Look at the right with Mickey Mantle, who of course is first ballot Hall of Famer. But Matthews is up here similar with all these guys. Just nuts. Just absolutely nuts. So there it is, looking at these Hall of Famers. So this is Jaws. Oops. There's Eddie Matthews. Wade Boggs, number 3. Wow. Pretty crazy when you look at that list. Number 2. Where's Brooksy? Let's go to find Brooks Robinson. Okay, he's number 8. He's number 8. I have no idea what the Baseball Hall of Fame does and whatever. They're supposed to have criteria, but I think it's rather nebulous at best. And I think you're right. You're certainly right about the Frankie Frisch nepotism, and also with Baines. I mean, we're not going to bring Baines back up again. His record, we've looked at it ad infinitum, haven't we? All right. So I guess theoretically tomorrow is opening night. I'm scared. Have we decided MV or Big Clue? I'm sorry. Well, okay. We're gonna wait till Ken's back for that one. But anyhow, if he's listening, hopefully he's having a laugh there on that one. So best 7 WAR seasons. Matthews is third, and his overall WAR for second baseman or third baseman, he is second only to Mike Schmidt. Okay, so if you take away Mike Schmidt, right? Because Schmidt's playing obviously kind of a different era, straddling Matthews a little bit. But Robinson, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, come on, look how long it took Ron Santo to get in. Took Santo ages to get in, and he deserves to be there. Crazy. So, are we like? Are we just gonna do? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think there's still some things we have unresolved. Somebody has suggested as far as managing goes, if both managers are there, having one do full managing in odd innings, the other full managing in even innings, um, doing defense, offense. There's still a couple things that haven't been ironed out yet. Adrian Beltre, yeah. I mean, he's third all time, and Boggsy's already in there. He's ahead of Boggs, Brett, Chipper Jones, and Brooks Robinson, all Hall of Famers. And he only has 2 above him. Yeah, Beltre is a shoe in. He's in. Oh, we definitely will, Aaron. I've just been really super busy, man. Home runs, again, among third basemen, second only to Eddie Matthews. That's nuts. Look at Adrian Beltre leads all third basemen in RBI. Who is the speedster? Arlie Latham. Wow, going way back. There's Tommy Leach. It's my buddy, who's never going to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. John McGraw. We're forgetting Lev here. Lev didn't have enough games here. But John McGraw, batting average. All right. Anyhow, getting lost in this rabbit hole. So Schmidt's relative operated on your foot when you were a kid, Dr. Schmidt. No joke. That is so cool. So I hope you guys are enjoying the baseball season. Pirates took a big hit with O'Neill Cruz out until August. So, oh well, that's all right. How's everybody's team doing this year thus far? Early going. Let's have a look, man. I want to see what folks is doing. Besides, I want to see what the Pirates are doing against the Astros right now. Yeah, we beat the Astros, so we're 3 games above 500. Go Bucks. Let's see how Big Clue's team got edged out by Atlanta. Oops. Still though, it's early going, and I don't think neither the Pirates nor the Reds are going to do much this year. What about Robbie? Look at the Texas Rangers. They're 7-4. Who else? We have some favorite teams in here. The Red Sox, 5-6. John, let's see. Let's look at your Braves, 8-4. I should be bringing this over here so I can see you guys. There we go. That's better. Well, you haven't watched the game yet. Neither have I. But only because I've been busy. I do want to watch some baseball this year. Your Yankees are 4 behind Tampa. Look at Tampa Bay. Holy shit. They're 11-0. And wow. And they have like the worst fans in baseball, and they're going 11-0. Tampa Bay needs to be relocated. Tampa Bay has to be relocated. They seriously have to be relocated. Let's see. Another team I'm interested in is Oakland, 2-9, and their attendance probably sucks right now. Kind of nice to see the Mets at 6-6. That kind of makes me happy. Sorry, Mets fans, but this is all going to change up, of course. It's so early. I'm glad to see Robbie's team doing pretty well. Steve's team, man, the Tigers are sucking, but at least everybody's at least won a game. So that's nice, no. But Tampa Bay is nuts. 11 games, 11-0. Big Clue says, imagine the Tampa Bay front office running a team in Montreal finally make baseball work up there. That'd be something. Well, another one, Charlotte or Jacksonville, another one, John, that's another city on the East Coast that's wanted a Major League Baseball team for a long time is Charlotte, North Carolina. So yeah, Jacksonville, Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina, all good. And then, of course, if you want to go to Montreal, give Montreal a second shot. I think Oakland's going to go to Las Vegas. It would just make a lot of sense. So who would you move to Vancouver? What about Oakland, world's worst gamer? Do you think, what about Oakland? Moving up to Vancouver, still Pacific time zone. Your Jays are 7-4. Okay. Okay, you're a Yankee fan in Sims. I always thought you were a Yankee fan. Yeah, Vancouver does have that nice climate up there. You're right. Certainly a lot nicer than Calgary. John DFW says he thinks Tampa Bay has the best run differential over an 11-game stretch since the 20s or 30s Yankees. Yet people stay away in droves there in Tampa Bay. They don't know what the hell they're doing there. Oh, geez, and they're playing the Boston. They're in a series against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox right now just not do. I mean, come on, we swept the Red Sox. Holy shit! And the Pirates are just a bunch of young. We're just a young team right now too. And we started off strong last year. Not as strong as this year, but Tim's Indians. I'm sorry, Guardians at 7-5. Yeah, it's almost entirely the stadium, Tampa Bay. Yeah. Mm. 83 runs scored, 20 runs allowed. Wow. Yep. Runs scored, runs against. That differential was 63. Damn. And it looks like so they're the only team undefeated on the road in baseball, and that's really telling. It's kind of easy to be undefeated at home, but boy, when you go undefeated on the road, that's nice. Hmm. I don't know. Here we are. I mean, we're 12 games in now already. 150 to go. Big Clue talking about expansion with World's Worst Gamer says Rob Manfred has said no expansion until Oakland, Tampa Bay have new stadiums. Number two, it would have to be part of a new collective bargaining agreement, which means not anytime soon. Yeah, because we just had the new CBA last year. I don't think we need expansions. I think we need relocations. I don't know what how many agree with that or disagree. I think we need relocations. Oakland's not going to get a new ballpark. It's just not going to happen. And fans are going to keep protesting and they're going to stay away. They're getting. I mean, I'm going to see a minor league baseball game Friday night, and I bet you there's going to be more people at that Double A minor league game that's going to be seeing an Oakland A's game. Yeah, expansion I think would hurt baseball. 30 teams is enough. God. But what teams are going to fold? You're not going to see any of the original 16. They're not going to fold. They're just not going to fold. And really, it's Oakland and Tampa Bay, right? Because the Boston Red Sox could absolutely shit decade, and they have, and they're not going anywhere. The Pirates aren't going to go anywhere. The Tigers aren't going to go anywhere. It's really, I think, the problem franchises are Oakland and Tampa Bay. And now I feel bad for Tampa Bay because they've had a lot of good seasons and they're just not getting the love, and they deserve the love from their needing a ballpark. Yeah, and teams aren't going to allow contraction. You know what? Owners aren't going to allow contraction either, though. I mean, I couldn't imagine they're just going to go and say, well, you just can't have a ball club anymore. And, these, I mean, except for, again, for Oakland and for Tampa Bay. I mean, this brings in a lot of money. There's a book about right, and it really focuses on minor league baseball, but it shows how much revenue it brings into a city. And I just don't. I hope there be no contraction. I do think 30 teams should be the limit, though. How many teams are in that other game that I hate in F ball? Isn't there more? Isn't there 32 teams in that? Kind of curious. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. There's Eddie We're in the Eddie Matthews thing. Yeah. Oh, another nice thing you can do here is you can look at your recently visited screens. I forgot about all that. So Okay, none of the pro league. Okay, so 32 in F ball. There's MV. So 32 in F ball. Thank goodness the Giants didn't move from San Francisco to Tampa. I don't know why they were. Yeah, I mean, God, the Giants. I mean, the Giants own the Bay Area. I'm glad they stayed out there too. Really am. But Oakland's gonna move. Oakland's gonna go. Huh. Well, I agree with you, Big Clue, but unfortunately, MV says I would love to see promotion and relegation in Major League Baseball. Big Clue disagreeing with the latter. Yeah, the other thing you got to give Out of the Park Baseball is this just a nice looking game. You can download other skins for it too. Don't know what's making me think of that. Just oh my God, look at the Athletics here, 1977, 2-7. Yikes! Kind of mimicking their 2023 counterparts. Yeah, but I don't know. All due respect, MV. I wouldn't want to see that modeled on footy or baseball modeled on footy either. Somebody on Facebook, there was some group actually that was trying to make a strong case for that as well. By the way, for those wondering, here's the function in Out of the Park Baseball where you can look at highlight reels or actually watch the game. So I think that's really cool. So maybe while we're talking, we'll let a highlight reel play between one of these games for a few minutes. Let's find anything. Oh, there we go. Do we have a Giants Dodgers? Yeah, let's look at this Giant Dodgers 3-0, and we'll do a highlight reel on that. Oh, couldn't be located. That sucks. Check your replay settings. Up, can't do that. Oh well. I have to fix up my replay settings. I guess I didn't set that up. Too bad. We could have watched a game, but there we go. Mexico City has been previously considered as Major League Baseball as a possible expansion, but yeah. So, well, but on the same token, again, it's early. Pirates are doing pretty well this year, MV. We lost our star shortstop and won our seventh game today. I don't think relegate. I don't think that works. I don't think it would work in baseball. I really don't. I think it works for footy. I think it works perfectly for footy, but eh, leave baseball be baseball. So I think that what really has to happen in baseball is it needs to lose its antitrust exemption. Oh yeah, it can be done out of the park. Yep. I think baseball really needs to lose its antitrust exemption. So we'll let a game play out against the Cardinals here just for giggles. Make baseball great again. Oh my God. All right, I'm not going to call this. I'm just going to press the mouse button. Just while we're talking here for a few minutes. And of course, who is responsible for that? That antitrust exemption. You know your baseball history and you know who did that. Let me see if I can do this options. I think there's a way to let it play by itself. I think. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, we'll just let the game play while we're talking. It's the only corporate entity in the United States of America that's exempt from antitrust laws. And that's got to end. All right, looks like we're good. I think. I can't tell. Yep, we're back. Yeah, the only corporate entity besides foreign owned. So, yeah, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Pirates up 1-0 here, by the way. It's kind of fun. Don't even have to press the mouse button, I guess. Look at the Bucks ripping into the Cardinals here. Yeah, so what happened, MV, was that Landis, when the Federal League owners sued in court, National American League, or Federal League sued the National American League, Landis got the case and sat on it, and that sort of helped Landis because the owners thought, hey, he gave us what we wanted, and the Federal League couldn't hold out, and they found out that Landis didn't exactly be they were expecting a yes man, even though they were going to Landis, yeah, you have all this power, and Landis certainly used that. I mean, in a way, he saved baseball after the 1919 Black Sox scandal, but he also was a staunch opponent of integration. John DFW, Major League Baseball's exemption resulted from the 1922 Supreme Court ruling, stated the business of Major League Baseball did not constitute interstate commerce, thus making it exempt from the Sherman Act. And I don't know if that's ever been challenged. Whether anybody really wants to mess with that or not, I don't know. Lou Brock's in second, by the way. Oh, Cardinals going to tie it up on a Templeton double. John, I want to thank you again, by the way, for doing all the stuff that you've done in that Discord. That has been such a great thing for us, and we really appreciate it. Wish you were part of the Howie Shanks League, but I know you were pretty busy when Ned McGreevy was going on, so. Yes, I did know that, MV. I'm playing like an actual season game here. Yes, I did know that. Thank you. And MV, I didn't know you were an out-of-the-park player. I didn't know that. There's a little ball game going on while we're talking. That's nice. Oh, definitely, John. Really appreciate that. big time. MV has played out of the park baseball since the year 2000. So, so I only played it. You're just 1 year ahead of me. I've been playing it since 1999. And Big Clue says, I don't know how MV has time for anything but Action PC after that purchase of his. I still remember that night, everybody, congratulations. Because the rest of us who have most or all of it, we bought it over a number of years. And MV was just like, bam, buying it all now. Oh, totally understand, John. Totally understand. But you guys remember that night? That's when we realized what baseball geeks we were. That we're congratulating, and I mean it's awesome that you have it, MV. But just to put it in perspective, congratulating you for buying a computer file essentially for what 400 pounds or 300 pounds, whatever it was. Funny. Yeah, it was like throwing. Big Lucy, I felt like I was throwing rice at the bride and groom as they're into the car. It says just married. Ever since your female particle's giving you hell. Yeah, man, it's a good thing. You can play all kinds of baseball now. I was talking to my girlfriend earlier tonight. Again, so she and I don't live together yet. She's like, so what are you going to do tonight? I said, play baseball. And she said, oh, okay. So I'm enjoying it while I can. Robbie wants a woman so bad, he doesn't know what he's asking for. So, 5-2 Pirates, by the way, right now. That'd be fun to call a game like this. Except for the delay in the middle. It's kind of cool. Just can't watch it. Robbie is definitely asking for trouble. Oh, mine do too. I've always been with musicians. This is the first not. Well, actually, no. I can't say she's not a musician. She can sing like crazy. And she at least said this is a good sign. She said, well, of all the sports out there, baseball's the only one that I could actually like watch and get interested in. So, very happy about that. Lucked out. We need to stress to Robbie how much cheaper his hobby is than a woman will be. All those pawns were fun, though, Envy. They were fun. Like, this is cool. This when it first went 3D. It's like, this is awesome. But what everybody forgets is what a great play-by-play this game still has. Still not synced up as well as I would like it to, but getting better. Yeah, Robbie wants him a woman. I've done some designing of a few more women that I've created. These are super photorealistic too, so I have to see what Robbie thinks about these ones I've done in Blender. Big Clue's wondering if Ernie Harwell has a granddaughter Robbie's age. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, MV says, on one hand, the ladies would be happy I was not seeking adventure out at night, but come bedtime, they'd be annoyed when I'd say, one more inning. It is about priorities, isn't it? You're still waiting, MV. How many weeks ago was that? I haven't even looked in their site to see if they made the ballparks available. I'm flush with some cash right now, and I'd like to just get on there and spend a couple $100 and just get all the damn ballparks, or however many I need. It's going to take them forever. But first thing I have to do is get Aaron Reed Baseball for Windows. I did promise him that. I already got him Action PCs, so. They asked if you minded waiting. For what? What the hell are they asking you to wait for? All they have to do is, like, send you the damn file. What? I mean, email, attach the file. That's it. Morons, man. They make a really good baseball game, and they're morons. Big Clue says, my first wife woke me up and kicked me out of bed in the middle of the night once because she claimed I was sucking my sleep, calling a ball game. Calling a ball game. Geez, MV, it would have been almost faster for one of us to get it, right? And just copy the file and just email it to you. Should have done that, mate. Big Clue, she should have been happy. At least you weren't talking about, oh, whatever. You're calling a ball game, which is cool. Well, if there's one thing I would tell Robbie, and I wish he was here, because I would say, Robbie, remember what anybody tells you, every male pays for it. And if a male says he doesn't pay for it, you guys know what I mean by it, he's lying. We pay for it. Let's face it. Let's be real. We pay for it one way or another. Yeah, NSF broadcast here. Hopefully it should come this week. Let's look at their sound's going to go out on this for a second, but can still watch the game, I guess. Let's look at APBA. Have they done any damn thing yet? Oops, wrong APBA. I'm in their stadiums, or for the homebrew ones. APBA baseball for there we go. So no, the discs are still. Oh my God. So the discs are still on disc, or the stadiums are still on disc. Boy, Christopher was right. I like the slower speed for the games. That's nice. Anyhow, got some dead air here. Sorry about that, guys. So, MV, you ready to call a ball game this week? Stadiums are so cool. Did a game at Evans Field. Oh, do you mean in baseball for Windows, MV? We're still talking about baseball for Windows? Baseball for Windows is oh, out of the park baseball, yeah. I mean, they're such immersive games. Exactly. John DFW says everybody pays for it. When you're married, you're always at risk of losing 50% of your estate. Yup. But oh, look at that! Nice throw by the box. Duffy Dyer nailing the runner, nailing Hernandez. I do it well. Not in terms of what you might call real estate, but I have a studio with super like I mean I do. I have really expensive, not just instruments but studio stuff. So yeah, I could be taken to the cleaners, but I'm not worried about it. Better lose your estate than your sanity. Yeah, it is. Still, it'd be nice for Robbie to at least have himself a female particle. No, I know, man, right? That I lost, and an entire Magic library, which has taken me 4 years to get back, and I'm getting there, but there's some books I'm just never going to be able to get again. But yeah, you're right. My entire baseball library, thanks to eBay and thanks to D. Scott Howard giving me that wonderful Fireside book of baseball. It's taken ages to get this baseball library back. But if I would lose, these, all my synthesizers, workstations, and all that stuff. Oh man, there we go. Bad throw. And Rennie Stennett on second. Oh my God, yeah, losing all that. That was terrible. Robbie's going to be pleasantly surprised if he knew he had admirers who to see him with a woman first, then it would be an avalanche. I think it'd be great. I'm hoping for him, but I just hope he knows those and we love you, Robbie. You're catching us to the backside, dude. We're not picking on you, but wow, if you think you're going to be able to do 30 projects when you're involved with somebody, forget it. That's not happening, pal. That is not happening. All right, one more, and then we're gonna close this up. Pretty good game here, I guess. 6-3 Bucks in the fifth. Yes, speak to him. Yep. And the particle becomes the project. There it is. The female particle indeed becomes the project. Oh my God. Boy, don't they? But yet, yep, says PQ River. But here's the thing about us. Knowing all that, we still go back. We still do it. We still do it. So, I mean, here I am right now. I'm not single, but I'm not living with somebody married, although she's kind of pushing, a little bit, which is fine. But believe me, I'm enjoying it because, once that happens, be lucky to get in a game a day. And I know that, and I'm still being involved, so. MV says he's trying to settle down and behave. Big Clue says, my all-time favorite date ender was a ball game where the girl he wasn't interested said, you're really into baseball, aren't you? And I said, yep. Anyone I date has to know baseball comes first. That's a nice one. And it's true. It's true. Jerry Royce, fourth strikeout here. All right, one more smoking and it's time for sleep. Of course, that's when you were young and could afford to be picky. Can always be picky. Can always be picky. Nothing wrong with being picky. I was single for like 2 years. Or about a year before I met this girl that I'm seeing now, and my friends are like, because I was like being real, because there were a couple of chicks that were interested, and they're like, well, you should go out with him. You should go out with him. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not settling. Why are you so picky? Because, not because I think I'm all that, but because I'm not. I'm a geek, nerd, whatever. But I'm just not gonna like settle with somebody just to I'm not going to go in the Bermuda Triangle just because it's there. Yeah. You know what, man? Big Clue. You're a smart guy. You got a great sense of humor. I think she probably knows she hit the jackpot too. You do get that right one. It does happen. World Source Gamer says leaving a sporting event early to him is a definite sin. Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes with this girl I'm seeing now. We go to see a baseball game. I was telling her about going to a game Friday. She's like, "Oh my God, she's going to New York this weekend." She's like, "I wish I could go. I wish I could go." We'll see. We'll see. You're on your third MV. All right. I've been down there twice. Aaron Reed says he listened to Ernie Harwell and Al Kaline call a Tigers-Reds game from 1998. Nice. Big Calusa is the Bermuda Triangle. I think that's where his brother finds all his significant others. That's funny. Yeah, we're going to get a full game in here just talking. This would be this would be something to do. Just get a bunch of folks on Discord, let a game play, and talk some baseball. Oh, okay, it's your third great love. So, oh, your third great love. Earl Weaver out of the park and now Action PC. And PQ River says he's the St. Louis Browns of relationships. Oh, dude, no. I don't think so. I'll bet you we trade some war stories. You'd be like, I did pretty good. I thought you had marriages, so I think I got you guys beat. I've been married twice. I've been married twice. So, I think I got you guys. I think I have you guys beat here. Twice for me. I think Ken might have been, or is it Ken or Clint? But they did. I mean, they're older than I am, so they're fine. But yeah, so I've been married twice. Moved to Baltimore, problem solved. MV, I got to tell you, I really like how you call a game. Your rediscovery, your love of baseball is it's just amazing. Love it. I love catching you. You know, just when you're doing games and stuff like that, and you latch on to something. That's great. I admire anybody, people that lack passion about something. I can't tolerate. And your love of baseball is so wonderful, MV. Hey, Big Clue says that Aaron Reed, Ernie is a lot better conversationalist than roommates Bert. MV channeling his Scouser there, very much. So he fancies a bit of it. Do you fancy a bit of the old Batsy Bowl then? A jam botty and a bit of baseball. So you know what? Thought you were the only one that got so immersed. There's 12 people right now watching a game that's not even being called, and they're hearing just one voice, but reading a chat, and it's 12:03 a.m. MV, you're not alone. You're not alone, my friend. I mean, think about it. So a bunch of people get together to either listen to a guy call a digital game or watch some guy's hand roll dice. And we all do it. So, welcome to the insanity. Watching a game shooting the bull while the game is going on is much like television, says Aaron Reed. Oh, hell yeah. We've all done it. Big Clue, man, he's a big roster guy as well, too. Everybody is. Because MV's coming. So I know I was home, quote unquote, when you talked about just staring at Steve State's slice rosters. Yep. PQ River says that he's never claimed sanity. Confess. Thought I could fake sanity better though. Forget it, man. It's a losing proposition. I heard about that, but I didn't see it, Big Clue. Big Clue says, I don't know about watching a hand roll dice. Good point. But I love the Tony Porter video where he threw his Stratomatic cards in the bonfire. I did not see that one. I've heard of it, but I never saw it. World's Worst Gamer says, I'm sane. Unfortunately, the world he lives in is not. I think we can share that sentiment rather across the board. Did you get the thing? When are you going to grow up? When are you going to start, doing this? Well, I don't want to grow up. You know? Okay, good. You're researching lineups. Nice. Sanity's dreadfully boring. Look at it. MV says using his complete history file. All right, so our spiffing Brit getting it in there, and proud of you, man. Glad you're doing it. Oh, that's the game. So Pittsburgh beats the Cardinals 6-3. How about it? There we go. Everybody doing their little thing there. Go Bucks. It is okay to be crazy. All right, the Pittsburgh Pirates picked up a win at Busch Stadium, taking down the Cardinals 6-3. Starting pitcher Jerry Royce was a big reason why he got the win. Okay, that's bad right up there. Improving to 101, he allowed 8 hits and walked 1 over 8. Royce allowed 3 runs. St. Louis falls to 2-7. Omar Moreno had a direct impact on the outcome. Moreno contributed a 2-run triple in the top of the second to put Pittsburgh up 4-2, and the Bucks win this one 6-3, and they improve to 7-1 on this 1977. So I wonder where the Phillies are on this, because the Phillies and Pirates were fighting all the way through 1977. Early goings here in 1977. Phillies 2.5 out. MV says, so I think we have to send our management profiles to Steve very soon for Bingo League. What I don't understand and have to ask Steve is, since 3 of us are going to be doing the games in this thing, how we're trading league files around. I guess that's something you can do if you're running like an email league or you have a commissioner file or something. Because could you imagine having 50 different versions of the file as the season went on? I certainly don't want to go down that road. So I'm hoping Steve knows how to do that. Yeah, but I'm saying, so if we keep naming it the same thing, that would work too, as long as we don't give it dates. But how, we've got to coordinate among the 3 of us how we're going to do that. Because I don't want to be doing a game. Let's say you do a game, MV, and then I do one, but I don't have the updated stats from you, or what have you. Once a week over 8 weeks. Yeah, and I guess just delete the older files. There's probably a mechanism in there. I mean, Baseball for Windows has a way that you can just send a league file to the quote-unquote commissioner. There's got to be a way in Action PC that does that. So I'm hoping Steve will know. If Steve doesn't know, nobody knows because he knows Action PC. I think just about better than anybody in this community, in this entire community. Yeah, he has to know. Holy shit! I didn't know that Action PC baseball existed. I sort of discovered it by finding a Red Sox fan playing it on his channel, and I got hooked. And Steve said he's been playing since 2003. I didn't realize the game's been around that long. No idea. He probably does know it better than Dave Cook. And actually, World's Worst Gamer, I don't know if you asked the question in Discord, but I wonder if Steve could give you a quicker answer about ballpark dimensions. It's my understanding they do count because right, but I can't give you a definitive answer. I'm just going by what I've heard. Look at this. Back in the grand old days, here you're looking at the screen when baseball had 28 teams, huh? So MV says he played the Action PC game. I remember he played F-ball and hated it nearly 20 years ago. But baseball came later. You didn't like it until watching us in the community play it. Glad you got hooked. Glad you got hooked again because you're a very passionate fan of baseball. You're more passionate than a lot of people who grew up with it. John says that we're simming right around the week he was born. Envy says hooked. I'm skint now. So for non-Brits out there, skint means like kind of broke. A little bit short on the dosh, are you, mate? That's all right though. Just think, you have all those seasons of baseball history, and you can do anything you want. So it's a good thing. World's Gamer says, by the way, Beatles, thanks for having this stream tonight. It was your first day of abstaining from watching news on YouTube. Tried to quit my memberships. Two sorts of organizations. Man, yeah, I was just missing you guys and missing hanging out. So you're welcome. It helps me too. My life lately has been my main job. I'm designing a business website and sleeping and just doing rinse and repeat. So this is really nice. And I mean, I got an 8-hour day tomorrow, but then I'm off Thursday, so I don't mind staying up a bit later tonight. And tomorrow, I guess, is opening day, night, evening, whatever. Yep. Thank you, MV. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. It is good to be back and hanging out with you guys, man. Missed everybody. Really did. I even missed Big Clue. Jeez, that's pretty bad. Yeah, so same old, except the sleeping is new. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I tried sleeping lately. Thank you, man. Oh, definitely. You guys are. I hope someday we figure out a way to all get together. It would be a wild time. And first thing we'll do is we'll hit. If we're in Pittsburgh, we'll do Liberty Avenue. If we're in New York, it'll be 42nd Street. Um, I don't know, MV. Maybe we could find Robbie a nice lass in Whitechapel. What do you think? If we do it over in Blighty, we could all go to get him a nice East End girl. What do you think? I mean, I know the nice girls in the West End, but I think Robbie needs a roaring East Ender. I really do. MV's on holiday right now. Big losses are amongst friends. We all have our low points. We do have to find Robbie White. Oh, come on, MV. Why not? Let's get Robbie a girl from Whitechapel. I mean, it's such a nice sounding name, isn't it? He needs a Sloan Ranger. Well, or we could go up north, get him an Everton fan. Someone from Kensington. Ooh. I tell you what, let's get really posh. MV, what about St. John's Wood? What about that? Right? Shouldn't it rename them the Rippers because of that lineup? You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea, MV. You should be the Manchester, well, you have the Manchester Rippers. Still. We could get Robbie. Yeah, Canadians are nice. Oh, it isn't? I mean, Paul McCartney used to have a flat in St. John's Wood. So, I mean, if a place where a Beatle lived is not what it used to be, wow. It's taking a bit of a dive, huh? Yeah, the only thing about Japan is you have to learn Japanese. My one of my ex-girlfriend's parents, when I was living in Holland, her parents went to Japan every once in a while. Very, very smart people, spoke English, Dutch, Italian, German, whatever. And apparently nobody speaks English in Japan. So, and they are baseball obsessed. Yes, they are. Or some Shohei Otani cards and send them with him on vacation by himself with. You know, it's true though about Canadians, right? I mean, so World's Worst Gamer, nobody hates you guys, but nobody hates you guys. Nobody hates Canadians. I can't think of a single country on planet Earth that hates Canada. I mean, even China likes you guys. I'm thinking even Albania likes you. Belarus likes you. Canadians are just, yeah, man, you guys got it going on. And then you look at your neighbors to the south, we're nuts. He says the women up there bad. I did date a Canadian chick, and it was an adventure. So World's Worst Gamer, here's one for you. So she came to the U.S. to see me. At that time I was living in the Midwest. God help me. And so she had tons of Canadian money, blah 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 blah. And she was a smart woman. She worked for TD Bank in Toronto. All right. And so she decided she was going to buy breakfast. And so she goes up, right? The server comes and she starts paying and right loonies and toonies, all that kind of stuff. And the server's like, "Ma'am, well, this is Canadian money." And the woman I was with, she's like, "Yeah, and I'm from Canada. We're just right across the border." I'm like, "Helen, they don't take. This is the United States." So, yeah, yeah, Ricketts and the Cubs, TD. Yeah, she was. I mean, high up in TD, but did not realize that she couldn't spend Canadian money here. I kid you not, World's Worst Gamer. She was trying to pay in Canadian money in a United States restaurant, and I'm like, and she did like big bank deals, man. I'm serious. I forget what her position was at TD Bank, but it was crazy high. I mean, she made serious money. I almost moved to Canada twice in my life, both times to Toronto, actually. Which I wouldn't mind living there, but yeah, I'm serious, Big Clue. I am not making this up, my friend. I couldn't believe it. It just blew my mind. If he says, Robbie told me you once got a date and asked to go to the gym, and she never showed up, I guess they never worked out. Oh, MV. Oh, my pancreas implodes. It is imploding. But that's funny. Guess they never worked out. Yeah, if you could afford it. Yeah, just like New York City, right? Or LA. Well, I wouldn't, you couldn't pay me to live in LA. No offense there, West Coasters, but LA is not a city I'm interested in living in. But oof. I've heard good things about Toronto, though. I mean, as far as like a place to visit, but it's lunacy. Actually, where I was gonna live the first time World's Worst Game was Mississauga, so I guess it's a suburb, and the other one was I think was Pickering. That's near Toronto, right? Is it Pickering? I think it is. So I had two chances to move there and didn't go. Ended up doing the usual back and forth to Europe. Skolka Cottage Country would be the place to go right now. Well, guess we could all go to Manitoba, but screw the winters in Manitoba. But is Vancouver? Vancouver has a bit of a crime rate, doesn't it? Or did? I know you're not in Vancouver, but I thought they had a. Or was that Vancouver, Washington that's crappy, and Vancouver, Canada is okay? One of the Vancouvers is supposed to be really sucky. Ninth inning of tonight's LA San Francisco game. This is big clue. Outman hits a grounder to second base. It was so hard. It knocked the fielder on his ass. Guy still throws the runners out. Ass is okay, bud. You don't have to asterisk those out. I'm not so worried about that. So Johnson's used to live right next to Vancouver, Washington. Oh my God, MV, MV, what are you doing to us? See, this is MV on holiday. He says met a girl, worked in a zoo, but it never worked out. I guess she wasn't a keeper. Oh my God. Our spiffing Brit from West Virginia is on a roll. He's on a roll. So Spike Jones, and Peter Cook, Spike Jones, Peter Cook, Peter Sellers, Rowan Atkinson, John Cleese, they would be proud of you right now, MV. Spike Milligan, Spike Milligan, Spike Milligan. There we go. Spike Jones, what am I saying? Spike Milligan. Spike Milligan, greatest of all, says PQ River. Yep, huge influence on the Pythons and everybody, Spike Milligan. So Vancouver's going to hell. Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, says World's Worst Gamer. He's our token Canadian. You're our token Canadian, man. I don't think we have any other Canadians in our little family here. I don't know about the rest of the community. Peter Sellers was a genius. I heard he never broke like even his closest friends. They said you never got to know Peter Sellers. He was always like another character, or what have you. Kind of sad, but what a brilliant guy he was, certainly. Love the Brits for their comedies, for their dramas, and rock. Brit rock is the best. All right, guys, I'm gonna start the closing down the ballpark, and I'll check Discord when I get home from my gainful employment. Well, sort of gainful employment. I feel like I pay money to work there. And V says, with my current lady in my life, she dated a professional clown before me. I guess. Oh my God, he's going again. I guess that's some big shoes to fill. MV, you're breaking out the dad jokes. What's up with you? What does it know? Alec Guinness. Great actor he was, too, huh? Great actor. Peter Sellers. What? Just, yeah. Whoever said he was a genius, right? Brilliant. MV, why are you breaking out the dad jokes, man? I mean, they're funny, but I'm a dad to two cats here right now. Oh, I did help raise four kids though, through two marriages. So I guess I had to pull out some of the dad jokes. Okay, MV says behind every successful man is a very surprised woman. But a boom, psh, he's here all week. Try the toad in the hole, the spotted dick, bangers and mash. That's your lot. Yeah, I'm right until the next game. Sure. Till the next broadcast, we're gonna have MV doing color on some of these tonights. We'll have dad joke night, especially if it's a blowout game. All right. Good night, PQ River. I'm gonna close down here in a second too. So thanks, bud, for coming in. Appreciate you. And new channel is close to imminent. Good night, John. All right, and I will do my thank yous as well, as we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes. Holy shit. All right. Cheers to MV, to World's Worst Gamer, John, DFW, PQ, Ribber, Big Clue. Um, it's weird. No Robbie Wertberg. Aaron Reed tonight hanging out with us. Clee baseball fan was in here very, very early on. Was actually the first guy in the ballpark tonight. I think we pretty much got everybody. Clinton Parks was here for a bit. Nice to see Clinton, who's going to be serving some interim duties. And that's as far back as I can go, so if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Okay, so big clue. So Robbie had a date with a woman named Jordan. She asked if he asked her if she was a redneck. She said, no, of course not. And Robbie replied, but I thought you were a little country. Oh, my God. What the hell? Big clue in MV. Jeez. You guys. World's Worst Gamer. By the way, about Vancouver, there are great places to visit for sure, and but keep your head on a swivel. Crime is going up and up and up. So I guess it was the Vancouver, Canada, I've heard, that's going to shite. All right, guys, good night. I guess we'll see you tomorrow evening for more dad jokes. Couldn't let the Brit get away with all the dad jokes as Big Clue. All right, guys, I guess we'll see you for opening night. It's going to be on Steve's channel, MV's channel, or mine. I don't know which. One of us is doing opening night. I think it should be Steve. He already has the damn file. So maybe we should just kindly, since you guys kindly pressured me, persuaded me into doing the draft that night, we were just screwing around. Why can't we kindly persuade Steve in the Discord to do opening night, as long as it's after 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time? I think Steve should do it. With MV at co-broadcasting. That's what I think we should do. So, what are you sawed off? Who are you sodding off with? Who are you telling to sod off, Big Clue? Damn. Wow. MV says he's happy to do anything. All right, so Steve Tate and MV should do opening day. Let's get it going in Discord, gents. Till I know of sodding off. Yeah, it is Brit, but I mean, I understand it. I'm Irish, so sod off. Yep, I get you. Baldrick over there in West Virginia. Big Clue channeling a bit of Blackadder. I can hear MV now. I have a cunning plan. MV, I'm taking a page out of your book. I'm taking a page out of your book, and I'm not doing a manager profile. Nope, I'm leaving it. Yes, darling. Oh my God, don't get started on Blackadder. We'll never get out of here. Jeez. But yeah, I'm gonna do what you did, MV, because you won. I mean, I'm not gonna win, but I'm not doing a manager profile this time, which is code word for meaning I don't know how the hell to manage my team. So, all right, tomorrow night, Steve Tate and MV. Steve Tate doesn't know it yet. Big Clue, I had to get to it before you did. I have a crap team, and I don't know how to manage it either. Even if I had a good team, I wouldn't know how to manage it. So, and MV says he thinks he's going to create a manager profile. Cool. I've been watching some epic battles on MV's channel and on Steve's channel. And Todd B and you and MV and Steve you guys have some ridiculous. Not knocking anybody else, but you guys, your teams are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. MV, did you unload Cy Young yet? Or are you just going to make him inactive? Big Clue says he's using the analogy to the National League East. You've got two superpowers, Mets Braves, and Todd and Steve, and you've got the Phillies. Means MV, who's under the delusion that he's at that level. Yeah, Ken Castro. Ken's like doesn't know how to manage his team, but I looked at his roster, and Ken Castro picked a hell of a team. I think Ken is taking the mick on us. I really do. I think he knows he has a good team. Cy Young is inactive, and Jack Glasscock is great, and Bad Bill Dolan. All right. Dolan, I can't remember because I got rid. The Ned McGreevy League's gone now, so I can't remember. I have no idea. I that's that. The only thing that remains of the Ned McGreevy League now is the All Star team. That's it. Brewers cars duking out to see who gets served as fodder in the World Series. Nah. The thing is, though, is getting to Steve Tate's how you get to rotation with Koufax and Bob Gibson and whoever the hell else is on there. That's what I think he has Dwight Gooden. I can't remember now. Yep, rest in peace, Ned McGreevy. It'll be back for a part two later in the year, but different, little bit different, but it'll come back. Putting the cart before I would trample you with my horse. All right, good night. Good night, reprobates. See you tomorrow for opening day on Steve Tate's channel or MV's channel. All right. Till then, see you around the batting cage, man. Spawn, Insane, and pray for rain. So yeah, he's got Gooden, Scott, Koufax, and Gibson. That's bullshit. That's just crazy. That's wrong. It's not fair, but we'll have to sort of like Steve because he's the co-commissioner. So he's saying Steve's pitching is on until they need Tommy John. Yeah, that's gonna be murder. My team is gonna be like that's gonna be the one that everybody's just gonna beat up on all the time. But it's all right. World's Worst Gamer. World's Worst Gamers is a big clue. I look forward to owning you. Well, of course, using the PWN, right? Classic Gamer. Big Clue retorts with World's Worst Gamer. Enjoy your fantasy life, infidel. Nice. Maybe we need an infidel league after all. You be rooting for me every time I play Steve. Big Clue. You got to understand, my dear friend, that life is precious. And rooting for a team as shite as mine, you're never going to get those minutes back. That being said, I'll be rooting for everybody that will be playing against Steve because nobody should have a rotation like that. And in fact, if he, yeah, but injuries, pray for injuries, right? Because they are going to be multi-game injuries. So wouldn't that be nice? Take one of those guys out, right? Koufax, Mike Scott, whatever. Damn right, bingo. All right, guys, see you tomorrow night. Till then, uh, I hear the batting order that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. Good night, guys.